rival. Tonight, they get their chance. On Raycom, Thursday night touchdowns. Welcome to the Battle of Hoover, as in Hoover, Alabama. Tonight, it's the Bucks of Hoover taking on the Jaguars of Spain Park here at Jaguar Stadium. Hi, everybody. Graham Dunn, Mike Peacock alongside. We'll have Christina Chambers down on the sideline. We'll get to her in just a minute. Kind of like what we had last week, Mike. Two schools within shouting distance of each other. The difference, one has been much more dominant over the other.
Oh, absolutely, Graham. You know, Hoover has set the standard in Alabama in the large schools football. Now in 7A, they're ranked number one in the state right now. And Spain Park is trying to build a program. They're a relatively new school, but the thing about it is, similar to last week, these kids grew up together. They know each other very well. And it's, you know, they're trying to build a rivalry here, but so far Spain Park's not been able to get a win in this series. They'd like nothing more than to do it tonight. The defense has been solid for Hoover, and it starts with a guy who says he's going to Auburn. Yeah, the linebacker, Darrell Williams, 17 tackles, 7 of those for loss, a sack, a fumble recovery. He is the man on defense, and I hear he's listening to other temptations from other schools, but right now he is committed to Auburn. Meanwhile, on the other side, if Spain Park is to have any success tonight, it's going to start with Wade Streeter. Absolutely. Streeter is the #1 running back for the Jaguars. He's going to have a big night tonight. He's going to have to keep the Hoover defense honest. The Jaguars like to throw the ball a good bit as well, but Wade Streeter's got to have a big game tonight. Well, patrolling the sidelines tonight, Christina Chambers. Christina?
Guys, both of these head coaches may not have ties to the city of Birmingham or have played football for their respective schools, but they do have ties to coaching. Hoover's Josh Niblett coached at Aniana, winning a state championship, then coached at Oxford before landing his current job, obviously, at Hoover. Spain Park High School's Sean Rainey has familiar coaching ties. He coached under Gene Chiswick and Watson Brown and was also an assistant at Hoover for 3 years, so he's actually been on both sidelines of this game. So impressive resumes for both these coaches, and it definitely shows on the field.
All right, Christina, thank you very much. Well, we've set the stage. Now let's get to the kickoff. It's coming up in just a minute. Hoover, #1, Spain Park, #10 in Class 7A. We'll be back with a kickoff on Raycom Media.
Executive Director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. Unfortunately, in our society, winning has come before everything. But if winning comes at the expense of good sportsmanship, then nothing is gained in the long run. Good sportsmanship is the result of a disciplined effort to respect yourself, your opponents, and to practice the golden rule. Always remember, good sports are winners.
2/3 of drivers who died in car crashes chose to ignore this warning. Seatbelts save lives. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
If you're involved in a car crash where a driver's been drinking,
you're 4 times more likely to die.
More people die when it's DUI.
A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
Science is how we continually improve the quality of care. Earlier detection, newer therapies, laser procedures, creative new treatments, innovation in lenses. At Schaefer Eye Center, these aren't simply services we offer our patients. They're how we're using technology to help them see well into the future.
We expect a capacity crowd here at Jaguar Stadium. Bob Finley Field, by the way. as Hoover and Spain Park get together. The Jags will have the ball to start. They'll be defending the west end zone while Hoover will kick off. And needless to say, in a situation like this, a defense like we've seen Hoover play already this year, Mike, Spain Park needs to get off to a good start offensively.
Well, they really do. They've got to make some things happen, Graham. They've got to have some positive yardage to get some confidence against this Hoover defense. If they can do that, if they can get some things rolling, this could be a really good ball game here tonight.
Hunter Schmidt has the ball on the tee. He will kick off for the Bucks. Again, ranked number 1, that despite losing their first 2 games of the season. And that hadn't happened since 1994. It's been a while.
Wow,
that's, of course, how dominant Hoover has been.
That's impressive.
Indeed. We are underway. End over end kick. Taken at the 9. And bringing it back up the field and across the 20 to about the 21-yard line. And did the ball come out?
I think it may have. That was Rondeus Johnson with the return. I think it came out at the end, but I think he had already been blown down.
So it will be Spain Park football to start the game. Mason Duke is the quarterback. He has had a pretty good year throwing the football, just over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdown passes. He has thrown 4 interceptions, but a quarterback rating of right at 142. And they will spread it out for most of the night.
They'll run multiple sets. They base out of the spread. They'll do a lot of different things. They will throw the ball quite a bit, but look for Wade Streeter to get the ball quite a bit tonight as well.
He is the lone setback on 1st and 10. They will throw, and that one is tipped off the hand of a Hoover defender. And I'll check the number. I believe that was 83. And one of the situations we've had in the past is duplicate numbers. That was Austin Harris with a tip. It'll be 2nd and 10. The offense for Spain Park, we've mentioned Streeter and Duke. Trent Harper will line up at 1 wide out. Derek Williams, Parker Kelly is the tight end. Owen Carr also at wide out. He wears number 8. We'll give you the interior lineman in a moment. 2nd and 10. Streeter with his first carry across the 30 and down to the 32-yard line, where he was hit by number 48, R.J. Arnold, who leads the team in tackles. That was his 33rd of the year.
Wade Streeter for Spain Park, Graham, he comes in with 493 yards rushing on the season. He's got 6 touchdowns. He averages about just under 100 yards a game rushing for the Jaguars.
Spain Park needs 5, and they're not going to get it on that play, as it is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. As Streeter gets nothing, and that should set up a punting situation for Spain Park in the home powder blue with the white pants. Meanwhile, Hoover in basically all white, orange numerals, black helmets. One of the problems that Spain Park has had to do with losing their kicker.
Yeah, Crosby Gray is their normal place kicker. He is injured, and the punter here tonight, Tyler Sumter, will be handling both the punting and the kicking duties.
Hawkins with a return, and he gets nothing. 37-yard punt, and it goes practically nowhere.
Really
and
good
Hoover will
coverage.
have it when we come back. We're at Spain Park. No score early.
As your Alpha Insurance agent, I can help you customize a plan that'll save you money while still protecting your family.
Saving $10, $15, $20 a month makes a big difference for families.
We're able to give you a better product for a better price with better service.
I try to give the customers the kind of service that I want myself.
That has value. You can't get that online.
We have a great product, a great claim service, and it's a real value buy.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
Derek was with the scrubs. Shh.
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Whoop. I got it. I'm a doctor. I got it.
Jack, for more.
After you've been injured in a car wreck, you could do this. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. Don't gamble with your case. If you've had a big wreck, you need a big check.
After my big car wreck, I didn't gamble with my case. I hired Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer, and he got me the big check I deserved, $575,000.
After your car wreck, don't take a gamble with the insurance company and call me right now.
Call right now.
We're proud to have the Alabama Army National Guard as tonight's closed caption sponsor. Did you know that you can serve in the National Guard while you complete your college education and receive education benefits along the way? Learn more at www.nationalguard/al.com. First time Hoover has the football, 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Hutchison is the quarterback, and he'll look to throw on the first play and cannot find the intended receiver. In and out of the hands. That was number 38. I believe that was the fullback, Chris Parker, that is someone, Mike, that Josh Niblett said, we got to have him in the lineup.
Right.
He missed most of the playoffs a year ago with a broken ankle, and the Bucs were all excited when he was ready to go in that first game against Miami Central, and then lo and behold, he got hurt again. He missed the first couple of games, but he's back now. And that was the first guy that Niblett mentioned when we started talking players, as the flag comes in, and we'll have illegal procedure apparently on Hoover. So that'll be a 5-yard step off, and it'll be 2nd and 15. But take your pick, take your poison when it comes to Hoover. They've got so many players.
Well, and you were speaking about Chris Parker, and he'll fill a lot of roles tonight. He'll be a blocking fullback. He'll be an H-back. He'll be a slot receiver. There's any number of roles that he fills on the field, and he's very versatile. And that's one reason that Josh Niblett feels like he has to be in there and have a big game for the Bucs.
And the funny thing is, he only has 2 carries so far this season. And did we get another flag? I believe so. And this one may also be on Hoover.
I believe it is.
So the Bucs going the wrong way. Again, a raucous crowd here at Spain Park Stadium, hoping they can cheer their team on to what will be the first win on field,
right,
against Hoover in their history. They played 12 times. 1 game was forfeited due to an ineligible player back in 2007. They have also played a couple of times in the playoffs, both Hoover victories. 2nd and 20. Draw and nothing. Marcus Webb with the carry, and he had nowhere to go. He was hit first, I believe, by number 94, Jonah Tibbs, and another loss for Hoover.
Jonah Tibbs, the leading tackler for the Jaguars, and Coach Sean Rainey said he had to have a big game tonight, and he expected him to have a big game. But you see here, Spain Park's defense gave Hoover nowhere to go, and actually that was number 6 with the tackle.
I beg your pardon, Perry Young.
Perry Young.
I'm going to have to get my binoculars out. 3rd and long, 3rd and 21 from the 22. Hutchison, the quarterback, he's a senior. He has a 1-back set, now a no-back set as Webb goes in motion. Hutchison has to run it and doesn't get very far, nowhere near the necessary yardage for first down. And it looks like a punting situation for Hoover.
And that was Jonah Tibbs, who trailed him from behind and was able to grab the heels of Hutchison and bring him down, forcing the punting situation.
So Hoover's 3 and out on their first possession, just like Spain Park. And the kicker for Hoover is Bailey Altman. Excuse me, let me make that Hunter Schmidt. And Spain Park goes after it, and that might have affected him a little bit. It comes off the side of his foot, goes out of bounds on the plus side of the 50, just a 22-yard punt. So good field position for Spain Park on this second possession.
Well, Graham, the rush definitely affected him right there. He shortened his kick up, he shortened his stride, and just kind of bumped that football and didn't follow through and got a little bit of a shank there, and it gives Spain Park great field position to start their second drive.
And let me correct myself a 3rd time. That was Bailey Altman with the punt, with the ball at midfield for Spain Park. And Mike, you would agree with me, the Jaguars have got to take advantage of field position such as this.
Absolutely.
1-back set for the quarterback, Duke. And Streeter with a handoff, big hole, first down. Down inside the 40, they'll actually mark him at the 40. That is a 10-yard gain. Positive run for the Jaguars.
And that's what Sean Rainey wants to see out of his offensive line and his offense tonight. He wants to see some holes opened. He wants to see the offense keep Hoover's defense honest, open up some passing lanes, and also have some success running the football.
Micah Bagley had the tackle. 1st and 10, though, for the Jaguars, who come in 3-2, 1-2 in region play. This is a region game for these two teams. Looking to throw, complete across the 25, but I believe there's a flag. We will check the flag. Derek Williams had the catch.
That's going to come back.
But it won't count, right?
I don't know if there was an illegal formation or a false start, but it's something along that line that's going to bring the play back.
It was a 5-yard step off. They will replay 1st down, but this time from the 45. But you got to like the way Spain Park is coming out.
Absolutely.
Taking it to the Bucks defense, which is very solid. In fact, they've only given up 6 points in the last 3 games. And that play goes for a little gain. Maybe a couple of yards on the play. Larry Wooden with a carry.
Larry Wooden, just a sophomore, and Coach Sean Rainey said he's going to be a good one before he leaves Spain Park. He looks very impressive.
So 2nd and 15, no gain on that last play. 1 back set again. Streeter, 3 wideouts to the near side. Spain Park looking to draw first blood. That pass knocked down over the middle.
I believe that was 93.
I believe you're right. Actually looked like maybe a defensive end. That was Zach Eldridge who got his paws up to knock it away. What's he doing back there?
Well, I was going to say,
it
looked like the big defensive tackle dropped back in a little coverage right there into the middle. Batted that pass away.
Just a little pass over the middle, but Eldridge is there to knock it away. So now a 3rd and 15, and all of a sudden a drive that was looking so promising, not so much, thanks in part to what is now looking like a big 5-yard penalty. And now we've got a timeout taken by Spain Park and Coach Sean Rainey, who we heard Christina talk a little bit about in the open. He coached at Hoover.
Yep.
He's also coached in the college ranks. A lot of experience. This is a big test for him, though, as he tries to break this string of losses to Hoover.
Right. Coach Rainey's originally from Oklahoma. Started his coaching career in Oklahoma. Went to Butler Community College, a football factory there. And then he's coached under Watson Brown at UAB, coached under Gene Chizik, not at Auburn, at Iowa State. And he was actually at Iowa State when Chizik left there to come to Auburn and ended up back in the Birmingham area and in the high school ranks. And they're very proud to have him here at Spain Park.
You see the standing, Spain Park at 1-2. One of those losses to Hewitt-Trunsville, 5 overtimes.
What a crazy game.
1-point loss. Usually when you score 63 points, you expect to win.
And we'll talk about this, but my favorite quote of the year so far came from Sean Rainey, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
All right, let's keep them hanging. 3rd and 15. Play action. Looking deep, downfield, picked off. Right at the 22-yard line. We'll check the number, but you can almost say it's just like a punt. And that is number 3, I believe it
was
is.
Number 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be Derek Williams. Excuse me, let me back up. That is Jeremy Williams. Let's look at it again. And it looked like the receiver might got his hand on the football.
He did get his hand. That ball had some juice on it. And you got to remember, Mason Duke is a pretty good pitcher on the baseball diamond, and he had some sizzle on that football. His receiver got a hand on it, knocked it into the air, and Williams picked it off before it hit the turf.
We didn't have the jugs on it, so we don't know exactly how fast it was. Marcus Webb on 1st down, breaks 1 tackle, trying to break 2 and 3 more, but not able to do it as he gets up to the 28 game tackle there. It'll be 2nd and about 5.
After that opening possession, Graham, Hoover's got to feel pretty good about that gain on 1st down right there, about 5 yards.
Yeah, they went the wrong way on their first possession.
They really did.
And you wonder about Spain Park kind of kicking themselves. They started that last possession right at midfield and got 1 first down and then went backwards. 2nd and 5. Hutchison looks downfield and now decides to run. He's close to the marker. He might have gotten it. He's going to be maybe about a half yard short at the 32. But a workable third down coming up for Hoover.
He did get the first down, by the way.
So they'll move the chains. Initial first down of the night for Hoover. For Coach Josh Niblin, 7th year for him.
And what did we say? In 6 years, they've been to the title game 6 times.
Yep.
And they're 3 for 6, so a 500 average in those title games with 3 state championships.
Bradrick Shaw, a young man that will also carry the mail a lot for Hoover. He'll get about 4 yards. You figure a team, a school, a program that has the tradition that Hoover has, you got Division I prospects everywhere, and there's you another one.
Out the, you know, I mean, they've got it everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, both sides of the football, no matter what the position, eventually probably going to have a D1 prospect at every position on the field in some years.
Shaw again, but this time he's caught in the backfield. He'll lose 2 yards.
Well, were there a lot of blue shirts in the backfield right there or what? They looked like they came from everywhere.
A.J. Smiley at the tackle. Play officially loses a yard, so it'll be third.
Look at all those blue
7.
shirts. There's 5 blue shirts around the football right there, and not really anywhere for the back to go.
Yep, Douglas Hensey was there. So 3rd and 7, ball at the 35. Clock is running. 5:45 and counting. Hutchison tries to send his running back in motion. Now he'll take off and gets tripped up in the backfield. 47. That is Hayden Fike, the linebacker, with a sack. And that should force Hoover to punt.
Big play by Hayden Fike right there as he shot through and just got enough of the leg of Hutchison to knock him off balance and get that sack, or that tackle. I guess he'll be credited with a sack on that play.
I'm going to give him a sack. I don't know about everybody else, but certainly a good play,
at the least,
however you slice it.
At the least, a tackle for loss.
So another punting situation for Altman. This one is high, but not very far, and fair catch taken at the 42-yard line, a 37-yard punt. We'll take a timeout, no score here at Spain Park.
Come join the fun, food, and football at the LA Gumbo Festival, October 4th, located at the Wharf in Orange Beach, Alabama. This family event will feature a gumbo cook-off with contestants competing to win over world-class chefs and a celebrity panel of judges, craft booths, an art show, and football games on over 70 flat screens located in Baumhauer's and the Complete Angler. This special tailgate edition will feature a chance to win Bob's personal Iron Bowl tickets. Don't miss the excitement and fun that will make this weekend a yearly event on your calendar.
At Baumhauer's, we're all about great sports, legendary food, and Southern pride. That's why we're serving up all your Southern favorites, like our tangy grilled fish salad, hot Bama brown, and our famous wings. And it wouldn't be the South if it didn't have a little kick, like a homemade gumbo and wild Gulf shrimp and grits. And don't forget our mouthwatering desserts like Bama Nana Pudding or strawberry shortcake. So call the gang and put a little South in your mouth.
When facing a life-threatening illness, you often go through a range of emotions. You can't really put it into words, but all you know is that help is needed. Alacare Hospice is an approach to healthcare that is designed to support the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of someone nearing end of life. Alacare Hospice is fully covered by Medicare and most private insurance policies, and it allows you to stay in the best place possible, your own home. Ask your doctor about the care that Alacare Home Health and Hospice provides.
Good field position again for Spain Park. 1st and 10 at their own 42. Play action again. Pass is knocked away again by a linebacker, and let's see what Christina's got down on the sideline.
It's officially the month of October, and with that comes cooler weather, and obviously the leaves are starting to change. It may be a good time for you at home to check out one of Alabama's state parks. I'm here with Randy Jinks. Exciting time for you guys. What events do you have in store this fall?
Well, Christina, this is our 75th anniversary, and a week from this Saturday, October the 11th, we will be having our final Shrimp Fest event, the Baumhauer Shrimp Fest and Barbecue event series. It's been our signature event for the year, highlighting our 75th year, our diamond year. And we just want all the people around here to know that we're having that. It's October the 11th from 4 to 9. We want them to come out. We still need some volunteers. So if anybody would like to volunteer for it, they need to just give the park a call. But we need some volunteers for that. But it is fall, and Mother Nature's going to be putting on a beautiful show for us in a few weeks. It's a great time to get out to the state parks.
And that's at Oak Mountain. The Shrimp Festival's at Oak Mountain.
Oak Mountain, October the 11th.
And you guys also have a new app that also those at home who want to know more about the state park can just download this app. What exactly does it do?
Well, it sort of gives you a tour through the individual park. It's a lot of fun if you're in the park, but it is new. It's on our website. You can click on the icon. We've got it works on both the iPhone and the Droid. So we just want people to download it, play with it, and enjoy it. Come out and see the state parks this fall.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, Christina, thank you. You saw very interesting play by
that was an ad-lib play right there. The ball was in the air a long time, but got to credit Mason Duke for getting away from the rush here, saving some time, and then getting a pass off and completing it for a gain. Nice job right there. Nice job of the receiver coming back to the football to get some positive yardage for Spain Park, although it is 4th down.
Well, yeah, but you save field position. I mean, and that's right now the story, at least of this first quarter. Even though Spain Park not able to take advantage of it, Sumter's punt fielded at the 20. And good run down the far sideline, kicked out of bounds. And a good return by Hawkins for Hoover. It'll be 1st and 10 near midfield. But again, 32-yard punt, 32-yard return. But the point I want to make again, we just had the field flipped. I was about to say, hey, Spain Park's had great field position, but now all of a sudden Hoover is on the plus side.
Well, they had a good opportunity right there to flip the field, but that nice return, that nice 32-yard run back right there gives Hoover great field position at midfield.
We'll see it again as
going to see a couple of good blocks here.
Yep.
One coming up right there that really sprung him to the outside and got the sideline. But good blocking on that by the Bucks.
1st and 10. And Webb will get a couple, if that. Jordan Duke's there for the stop. It'll be 2nd and 7. Marcus Webb, who not a real big kid, but he's got legs and he's got strength.
Well, good job by Dukes right there. He bounced off the first contact he had with the running back and looked like he might get away, but he stayed with the tackle, got his legs corralled and got him down.
Hutchison to throw, complete. It's a short gain, not quite enough for the 1st down. Justin Johnson with the reception.
Going to have about a yard left here for a 1st down. They're going into hurry-up mode, going to try to get a play off quick here.
Clock is moving, 2:23. Enough to play in the first quarter. We're still looking for our first points. Hutchison will more or less stay in the shotgun. Webb, the one setback. He has the handoff, and looks like he got the 1st down across the 40 down to about the 38.
Pretty good penetration by Spain Park's front line there, but nobody able to get a solid lick on the back, and he gets the 1st down.
This is what Hoover has done. I mean, you can't beat this. 33-game in-state. Now, that doesn't count the first 2 games of the season. Some of the great players, those guys you see listed there are, if they haven't already committed to a major D1 program, they're going to. Looking over the middle, complete, no, it's dropped. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And let me check the number. I don't want to give the wrong name.
85.
That's going to be Cox.
And Graham, he took his eye off the ball just a little. See here at the end of the play, he's going to look away right at the last second. Just looked away a little bit, and the pass was just enough behind him that he couldn't hold on. And missed a big play right there. Probably a touchdown.
You beat me to the punch there. I thought the same thing. Probably would have been 6. Instead, 2nd and 10. Spain Park territory at the 37. Sweep right side. Big hole. Inside the 20. Spinning. 10.
Still on his feet.
He's still going. How about Shaw on that play? 27 yards, first down.
I tell you, that was some solid goal dancing right there as he got away from several tacklers. I thought he was going to get loose again and possibly get it on in the end zone, but finally Spain Park got him down.
So Hoover knocking on the door. First time we have said that tonight. They can barely get a first down, so we'll call it 1st and 10, or will we? Actually, they say no. Shaw tries again. Flag comes in late. He's still on his feet, but it's probably not going to matter. This one is probably going to be against Hoover.
I believe that's probably going to be a holding call.
And that is the case. Boy, mistakes on both sides here. Penalties have really hurt the two offenses early on.
Well, you know, Spain Park had the big pass play, the big completion to get close to the red zone on their second possession, and that came back with a penalty, and now Hoover down in the red zone, and they get a holding penalty. So these two teams having a little trouble getting out of their own way right now.
It is 1st and goal at the 18. Clock under a minute now. Hoover, like just about everybody else, does not huddle, and at least not much.
That is definitely the trend.
1H back, that is Parker. Sweep to the left and slung late, and that's going to bring a flag, and that's probably going against Spain Park. You'll call it a late hit, but I'll call it unnecessary roughness on the left.
I would lean more toward that unnecessary roughness. It's going to be a personal foul nonetheless.
Technically, they don't have that rule in high school football anymore, but that's what it was. It is not an automatic first down, but they do get to replay, I believe, the down. Or no, I beg your pardon, they will not, because that was a dead ball foul, so it's 2nd and goal. This time from the 12, so they'll pick up an extra few yards. Great crowd on hand, as you would expect. These two programs have played every year but two. The last 2 seasons, due to scheduling difficulties and the fact that they were both not in the same quote-unquote region. But they're back at it again now in 7A, Region 3.
I think there was some question right there by the Hoover coaching staff. I don't think they realized that was a dead ball foul.
Or the fact that you don't get an automatic first down. That might have been what they were checking on. And that rule in high school, not the case in college or pro. It's automatic at those two levels. Hutchison, Webb gets a block, stands up a man at the 5, but then goes backwards. He'll get about 2. And I got to credit Spain Park's defense. They've come to play tonight.
They really have. And, you know, Sean Rainey is a defensive guy. And he told me this week that, you know, the attitude around here has been a lot centered around offense, and he said he's trying to change the environment and get it to more of a defensively minded football team, and they're playing well tonight. Look at the gang tackling there as we look at the replay.
So 3rd and goal, ball at the 5. Triple wideouts to the near side, 1 to the right. Shaw's in the backfield. They'll throw the slant. Touchdown.
Had to wait a second to make sure he held the ball there, and he did.
Trey Brackett, 5-yard touchdown catch, 6-0 Hoover.
Well, how many times have you seen that play work from that area of the field, Graham? That slant from inside the 10-yard line, more often than not, ends up in a touchdown.
So many ways to use it. It can get you a first down, or in this case, get you a touchdown, because all you want is a few yards. The cornerback usually is up close, playing tight cover, as was the case there. Just turn it inside. The ball was there. The extra point is up and good. So Hoover with the first points of the night. They come with 3 seconds left. It's 7-0.
Watch this, just a quick slant Receiver holds it. Not bad coverage by Rondeus Johnson there for Spain Park. He did about all he could do, but that's just a play that works more often than not.
9-play drive. It started at the 50. Keep that in mind. Best field position Hoover has had so far tonight, and they took advantage of theirs. Spain Park has had the same field position twice and not been able to.
And that's what we talked about early in the ballgame, Graham. Offensively, Spain Park needs to get something going. Needs to gain a little confidence against this tough Hoover defense.
Josh Niblett, the head coach at Hoover. As we mentioned, his 7th year. Also coached at Aniana, led that program to a state championship. That was a 3A title. He played high school ball for his dad, John, at Demopolis Academy.
Demopolis Academy,
he was
in Demopolis, Alabama.
Yep. Was an all-state quarterback. Then he went on and played at Alabama before starting a coaching career that spanned both college and high school. Right now he's got one of the best jobs not only in this state but maybe across the nation.
Really across the nation in high school football. You're right. Maybe 2 or 3 jobs in Texas could rival this Hoover job.
We'll get out our notes and compare a little bit later on. The kick taken at the 10. And a short return up to about the 22 for, I believe that was Wooden. So we'll take a timeout. It's the end of the first quarter. Hoover 7-0 on top.
"44 years and growing. ERA King is the exception to the rule. We actually grew during the recent recession. How was this possible? My dad had a simple explanation. Just do the right thing. We're ERA King Real Estate."
You want an appliance for the kitchen, the den, or somewhere else, and you don't just want to score a deal. You want the knowledge that goes with it. Think Cohen's. The price? We hold our own with the big boys on price, but we're undefeated when it comes to service.
After further review, Cohen's wins.
So when savings, selection, and answers are all important, just remember there's only one game in town. That's Cohen's. We deliver confidence.
When I go fishing, I ain't settling for nothing but the big fish. And when I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for nothing but the big check. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you go fishing with the insurance adjuster, you may end up settling for some small fish. The last time I went fishing, I came back with a $25 million verdict. Now that's a fishing story you can believe. So after your car wreck, fish where the big fish are. And call me right now.
Call right now, 1-800-218-9000.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this Diamond Anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit a park today!
Last year, I challenged our relocation team to be even better. Their response was, "It will cost you your 42-year-old mustache." Today, we're the only platinum-recognized Cardis USA broker in the state of Alabama. I sure miss that mustache.
Well, did you know distracted driving is now the leading cause of all car crashes? One text or call can wreck it all. So keep your eyes on the road. Don't text and drive. A message from the Alabama Department of Transportation reminding you, drive safe, Alabama. 7-0 as we start the second quarter. Spain Park, great field position in that first period and couldn't do anything with it. Hoover with one drive that started at midfield, and that's why they've got a 7-0 lead.
Well, Graham, on their first 2 possessions, Hoover gained a cumulative 1 yard. On that last possession, 9 plays, 50 yards, and a touchdown.
The average start, 38-yard line for Spain Park, as that one is off the hands of the intended receiver. I believe that was number 8, Owen Carr, second and 10.
Well, that ball hit Carr right where it needed to, but he was still trying to get loose from the defender over there. Couldn't get his hands up to make the catch.
And when you're playing a team like Hoover, these plays sometimes will typically come back to haunt you.
Absolutely.
That could have been a first down play. 2nd and 10. Streeter in the backfield. And now the play being changed by Mason Duke, the quarterback. Streeter has it. He's got running room close to the first down marker. He'll be about a yard short. He was brought down by Micah Bagley, but not before a 9-yard gain.
Streeter had rushed for 15 yards on 4 carries before that tote right there. And in the first quarter, just looking at some numbers, as you see Streeter's run right here, not able to get away from the safety. But 5 rushes for 15 yards for Spain Park. Of course, Hoover rushed 13 times for 55 yards. And here's Streeter again.
And he's got nothing. In fact, he lost a yard. Gang tackled all the way back to the 30. So it'll be 4th down. And I doubt very seriously Sean Rainey is in a gambling mood, at least not this early.
Not quite yet.
But you saw there the quickness of that interior defensive line for Hoover.
Right, absolutely. They were all over that play very fast. And they were determined not to let Streeter get to the first down marker.
So Sumter into punt. Hawkins awaits that punt near his 30.
35.5-yard average so far for Sumter.
And that's about how far that kick is. Hawkins had a little trouble with it. Stumbles and still keeps his feet. He is in Spain Park territory down at the 45. A good return.
Well, you know, Graham, you know, like you said, a play, we'll talk about it when we come back from the break, but that's the kind of play that can hurt you.
I thought we might have had a penalty. Instead, we'll take a timeout. 7-0 Hoover.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you could do this. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. Don't gamble with your case. If you've had a big wreck, you need a big check.
After my big car wreck, I didn't gamble with my case. I hired Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer, and he got me the big check I deserved, $575,000.
After your car wreck, don't take a gamble with the insurance company and call me right now.
Call right now.
44 years and growing. ERA King is the exception to the rule. We actually grew during the recent recession. How was this possible? My dad had a simple explanation. Just do the right thing. We're ERA King Real Estate.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
Style is more than just a look. It's a reflection of how you see the world. It's not just about being trendy or current. It's about being true. It's distinct, personal, and authentic. And it's defined by everything you do. At Schaefer Eye Center, we don't just improve your vision. We help shape the way the world sees you.
It's early, but Spain Park has had some chances, Mike. They just can't get moving on offense.
Well, you know, we talked about the pass that hit the receiver in the hands, and right there on that punt was another example, Graham. They had a guy hit the receiver as soon as he caught the football and not bring him down, and he got loose for a 22-yard return. So those kind of things happen in these games.
Deep drop, Hutchison over the middle, complete. Inside the 10, down to the 5. 40 yards on the play, make it 42 officially for Alex Elam. He is their leading receiver.
What a nice throw right here by Hutchison on that little post route, right over the middle, hit him perfectly in stride. A great play for Hoover.
So the Bucks trying to add to their 7-0 lead. They've got it 1st and goal at the 4. Shaw running over tacklers into the end zone, touchdown.
Nice.
4 yards officially on the play.
Nice run by Shaw right there. He used his size and just bulled his way into the end zone as he was hit about the 2-yard line and covered that last 2 just on sheer strength.
3rd touchdown of the year for him and a 13-0 lead for Hoover. we were kind of getting into this before that long pass play, Mike. 3 and outs for Spain Park.
And
throw in an interception.
Yep, they're just having trouble getting things going. And defensively, I'll tell you, they're missing a guy who's been very important to their defense, and that's senior linebacker E.J. Marino, who's out with a shoulder injury. Got a flag on the play now.
Took too long. It'll be a 5-yard step off against Hoover. So Schmidt will kick it this time from the 15.
He said, no problem. I got this. Of course, on the other end a while ago, he kicked it over the lift tower down there that the cameras are on, so I think he's got plenty of leg.
That's what, about 50 feet in the air or something
yeah,
like that?
it is.
No lift to kick over this time. They will hammer it through, though, for the extra point. 9:59 to play here in the first half. Let's see what Christina has. Christina?
Fans have traveled interstates and highways to get to tonight's game. I'm here with Tony Harris with the Alabama Department of Transportation. What is your role in public safety?
Well, we work hard to make Alabama's roadways safer. We're only responsible for about 10% of the roadways, but we carry 80% of the traffic. So we have to use engineering, enforcement, and public education campaigns for the goal of making our roadways safer.
And how are you educating the public on highway safety?
Well, safe roadways start with safe drivers. So because that is so important, ALDOT has created the Drive Safe Alabama program to get messages out to the public about seatbelt use, distracted driving, and other things that are important to the overall safety of our roadways.
And what's your response in helping the community and also your partnership with the Alabama High School Athletic Association?
Well, community events are good for us because everybody here tonight, everybody at home watching drives. And we think it's an important venue for us to get our message out. And we're encouraging people, if they don't do anything else, just buckle up, because 70% of people who are killed in crashes aren't wearing their seatbelt. So it's important, buckle up and drive safe all the time.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Spain Park at the 20-yard line after Schmidt's kick goes into the end zone. He does that a lot, by the way.
He does.
We actually got a chance to watch some of their previous games, and I don't think any of his kicks were not kicked into the end zone.
He's definitely got a strong leg.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get to see him try a lengthy field goal here at some point tonight. But
one number that I noticed, Mike, is Spain Park's got it again, and that's time of possession.
Right.
It may not mean a lot right now, but come third quarter, when that, not how long the offense is on the field, but how long the defense is on the field. And they've got to maintain possession here to give their defense a chance. And as I say that, apparently there was a flag. This one came from the side judge.
Let's see what that's going to be.
Would that be a sideline warning? Possibly. It is a dead ball foul and
substitution
illegal.
infraction.
Yep. So a 5-yard penalty against Hoover. And at this point, Spain Park will take whatever help they can get. The thing is, though, they've moved the football. They've been able to make plays and just not able to capitalize on a 10, 12-yard by Streeter.
Actually, they're waving that
They're
flag
waving it off. All right. Well, never mind.
So, never mind.
But again, like what I'm saying is they've had a couple of plays, long plays, first down runs by Streeter, a couple of passes that.
And they've had some near misses, and they've got to turn those near misses into positive plays.
So right back to the 20 on 1st and 10. Streeter hit right at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got anything. R.J. Arnold there.
Maybe
for the
a
stop.
yard.
You're going to give him a yard? All right, I'll give him a yard if you give him a yard. How about that? So it'll be at the 21. I think he wanted more, though.
Hoover had numbers at the point of the attack right there. When he took the handoff, there were just a couple of white shirts there, and they outnumbered the blockers, and there was one guy that was free, and he made the stop.
So 2nd and 9. 3 set. Now they'll split. 3 to the wide side. Looking to throw. And intercepted. Going the other way and walking into the end zone. I believe that is number 3. Jeremy Williams. If I'm not mistaken, that is his second interception of the night.
That is his second interception. The first one came on the tip pass. That was 25 yards on the return. And that one was just an overthrow. It just overshot the receiver, and Williams was waiting on it and took it straight into the end zone.
Nobody in front of him, and he just walks it in, and another touchdown. And this is what Hoover has done, though.
Right.
They take advantage of your mistakes, take advantage of your poor kicking game or their good field position, whatever it is.
Well, your good teams are opportunistic, and Hoover is definitely that, as they take advantage of every situation just about that they are given.
So Schmidt's extra point attempt is good. And so with a little over 9 minutes to play here in the first half, a 21-0 lead for Hoover.
And it seems to have happened quickly, Graham. You know, we went through most of the first quarter with no score and both teams playing well, and we remarked about how well Spain Park's defense was playing. And then all of a sudden, we get to the second quarter. The last play of the first quarter was the first touchdown. And then we get to 21 already here in the second quarter.
You know,
just like that.
I don't know if you watch basketball much, but you know, you're going along, you're playing a really good team, and a couple of turnovers here, a couple of turnovers there, and then you look up at the scoreboard and you're down 15.
Yeah, it's, you know, and I've seen that a lot of times, you know, working college basketball games. You know, you feel like you're right in the middle of a game, you're playing a good team, you're right there, and then like you say, just a turnover here, a turnover there, a missed shot sometimes, and all of a sudden you look up at the scoreboard and you're like, how did we get down by 15? And I know Spain Park's feeling like that now. They were playing really well, and now you look at the scoreboard and they're down 3 touchdowns, and you go, hey, where did that come from?
And I go back also to the fact that their defense, well, they've been out there more than their offense. That time they didn't have to go out because the interception returned for 6 by Hoover. Another kick into the end zone, another touchback. So at 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Jaguars. And we'll see what Mason Duke, a lot of times you throw an interception such as that, and again, I don't know what the play necessarily was, but it was obvious that Hoover had flooded what would be their left side of the defense, and we'll see how he can react to that. And it's you got to have a short memory, right?
Absolutely. And he, you know, Mason Duke, it's not like he's not been in big games. Now, most of his big games have been on the baseball diamond, but he's been in pressure-packed situations, and he knows how to respond. That's one thing Sean Rainey told me. He knows how to play on this stage. So we'll see how he recovers from that interception.
Handoff, and I'm not sure that Hoover was in the backfield before the handoff was made to Streeter.
It seemed like as soon as he touched the football, he was hit by somebody. He was able to spin off that initial contact and get forward, but still no gain on the play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. There is a flag laying back at on the far sideline, but apparently that penalty will be refused. So a 2nd and, well, actually we'll call it 11, a loss of 1 on the play. Clock is moving, under 9 minutes to play in the first half. Looking in the flat, complete. And tiptoeing down the sideline. I believe that is the tight end. And I'll check the number. I believe that was Jordan Jolly for the catch. That'll be a first down.
Actually, I think he's going to be just short. I think his tiptoeing didn't quite get him to the marker. I think he stepped out a little too soon. He's going to be about a yard short.
You're right. You're taller than I am. You can see over the sideline there. Spain Park has been in this situation before. This time they're going to let the quarterback do it. Duke will get forward, progress across the 30, and that's enough for a first down. Nothing fancy there, and why not?
Absolutely. They played it safe right there. Took advantage of something the defense was giving them and got that 1.5 yards, actually a 2-yard gain there for the first down.
And it looks like the Jaguars want to work a little quicker now after the first down. Streeter with a handoff. And he is met once again right at the line of scrimmage. R.J. Arnold again, the leading tackler for Hoover. Might have been a yard gain. It'll be 2nd and long.
I was just about to say, R.J. Arnold has been all over the place so far tonight for Hoover. It seems like every play we're mentioning number 48, and he was right there in the hole again to make that stop.
This time they'll send trips to the right. One back set for Mason Duke. Instead, the handoff coming this side and about a yard, maybe two. And here comes a late flag.
Not sure what that's going to be. It was the back judge over here. I think he's going to call a face mask. I did see the head of Streeter come around. I couldn't tell if it was a face mask or if there was just a forearm across the bottom of his neck, but they're going to call a face mask here.
Yeah, you get A+ on the eyesight there. 15-yard variety, too, by the way. So more help for Spain Park. 1st and 10 now at the 47. And as old Hank Stram used to say, God rest his soul, but matriculate down the field. That's what you want to do if you're Spain Park.
Rattle those chains.
This time, snap under center, halfback pass, and incomplete. And that one, I won't say that it was thrown up for grabs, but Trent Harper, that could have been a dangerous pass.
It really could have. And, you know, Streeter threw that pass, and he threw it a little quicker. I think he saw a white shirt coming, getting in his face, and he got rid of it a little quicker probably than he wanted to. Threw it behind Harper, and Harper couldn't make the grab.
And Harper had a white streak go by him right as the ball got there, and you saw him kind of short-arm the catch. And that was the reason why he did not make the catch, and now a timeout by the Jaguars. And it comes with 7.5 minutes to play in the first half. All right, Christina, what you got?
Well, guys, running back Wade Streeter, he has a very unique story. He was brought to varsity as a freshman, but he didn't have the best grades. Coach Rainey called him an average citizen, blending in, but he says this year he has completely turned his life around, making a huge impact on the school. His grandfather passed away last spring. Streeter's also a really good baseball player, and his grandfather went to every baseball game he ever attended or he ever played in. And so Coach Rainey even teared up or got a little choked up talking about Streeter, just saying how his grades are great and just his positive influence he has on the team and throughout the school.
We love to hear stories like that.
That was a great story. When I was talking to Sean Rainey, he really did. He got emotional when he was talking about Wade Streeter and the turnaround he had made. He called him an average citizen, you know, and he said the death of his grandfather last spring really had an impact on him. He had really turned his life around. He said the young man was up here at 6 a.m. almost every day in the offseason doing extra weightlifting, extra working out. He said he'd had a positive effect on the entire school, not just on the football program, but on the entire school here at Spain Park.
That carry by Wooden, and a flag comes into the middle of the pile. This one may go on Spain Park. But you hear stories like that, I'll say a good bit, but to me it just reiterates the importance of athletics.
Right.
Having teammates, coaches to help mold these young men and young women, whether it be whatever sport.
Well, you could hear the pride in Sean Rainey's voice when he was talking about Wade Streeter and the turnaround that he had made. You know, he did say they pulled him up to play varsity as a freshman, and you know, maybe he didn't really understand things, and he's matured a lot, and the death of his grandfather really impacted him, and he had really made a huge turnaround.
Wood breaks down the sideline, crossing the 40 inside the 35. First down. He took a pop in the backfield and kept running.
He did. He kept his feet moving, a 32-yard gain right there, and that is a glimpse of the future for Spain Park. Sean Rainey told me that this young man was going to be a good one by the time he got out of here, and you can see why. He was able to stay on his feet, get down the sideline, and a big positive play for Spain Park right there.
That was a big man he got away from, Matthew Croshan, who hit him hard, but Wooden kept running. 1st and 10 at the Hoover 32. Streeter returns, sets up behind Duke, and now somebody moved early. Boy, they just can't handle prosperity tonight, can they?
Well, it's, you know, it's frustrating for a coach. I can tell you from experience, when you have something positive going, you have some momentum going your way, and then all of a sudden you have a pretty much what I would classify as a silly penalty right there. Lineman going a little bit too quick, and I heard the the characteristic voices from the coaching box right above us here, as they express their displeasure at that
I'm sure.
at that penalty.
I know there wasn't any applause, I can tell you that. 1st and 15. And looking for running room and getting some is Streeter. He'll get back the penalty yardage plus a couple more inside the 30. He was brought down by Bagley, but not before about a 7 or 8 yard gain.
And you saw a nice little burst right there from Streeter as he was able to go through a crease and get that big positive gain, get the penalty yardage back plus a few more.
2nd and 7. Ball inside the 30, clock moving. 6:38 and counting. Play action, looking deep downfield, got him in! Is he in the end zone? Yes! Touchdown, Spain Park.
What a nice,
Trent Harper.
A nice catch by Harper right there. Great concentration and a really nice throw by Mason Duke. 29 yards on the touchdown toss.
Right over the shoulder. And Spain Park is on the board.
The only question, Graham, is was he going to be able to stay in bounds, and he did. Look at this throw and catch right here. All the way back over, and yes, he did get both feet in, I believe, for the touchdown.
And let's give credit to Mason Duke. He sold it well with the play action. The extra point attempt is good by Sumter. And the Jaguars are on the board. 6:29 left to play in the first half, and that should help their feelings a little bit.
Oh boy, I tell you, that's good medicine right there. As they needed that in the worst way, and they got exactly what they needed with that touchdown drive. And Graham, we mentioned Sumter, and we briefly touched on it earlier in the game. The regular kicker for the Jaguars is out with an injury, and Sumter's doing the job now. He's usually the punter. Here's a different view of that, and watch this catch.
Right on the pylon.
Right on the pylon for the touchdown.
And I got to give credit to our official. He was right on top of it. Right there where he needed to be. 9 plays, 80 yards, 2:43 off the clock. And that, by the way, allows the defense a little rest. That's something they needed.
They really did. It wasn't a very long drive. It wasn't a clock-eating drive, only 2:43 on the possession. But that was a good break for the defense.
So Sumter will kick.
Sumter, not your prototypical kicker. He's built like Sebastian Janikowski a little bit.
This is a pooch kick to the 20. Hawkins brings it across the 30 up close to the 35 where Hoover will have it first down. Boy, there's a name that I hadn't heard in a while. Sebastian Janikowski, right? Was
Absolutely. He played for Florida State and then went on. Last I saw him, he was playing for the Raiders as their kicker, but he was a big.
Of course, who knows? We never see the Raiders because they're not very good. But
that's true.
Not at least not around here. Heck, I don't even think they see them in Oakland either. They never sell out their games. First down, Hoover at the 35. Now 21-7. Hutchison, one back set, handoff. Webb gets 5, 6, 7, 8 yards, and that's all they'll give him. He carried the pile about 3 yards after the initial contact.
8 yards and a scrum as finally stopped his progress, but a good job by the offensive line right there for Hoover as they opened a nice hole and got that initial surge, and then the back did the rest, staying on his feet.
Webb leaves in favor of Broderick Shaw on 2nd and 3. Hutchison looking over the middle, nothing there, throws it down the sideline, and that one's out of the reach of the intended receiver. I believe that was Shaw, and a late flag.
You're going to get a targeting. I believe that's going to be a targeting call there, and I believe it's going to go against.
Well, A.J. Smiley's throwing up his hands like he was the one.
I don't know.
Guilty.
We'll see what the signal is.
They're going to call pass interference. Again, I think we have to say this at least once a week. The ball does not have to be catchable in college football, or excuse me, in high school football, whereas it does in college and pro.
We need to take a look at this. I really didn't think they were going to call interference, and looking at that play, I'm not sure how that was interference, from my analyst eyes here, but I thought maybe they might be calling the targeting because of the hit on a defenseless player, but nonetheless, a penalty and a first down for Hoover.
Webb with a carry, and he get about, we'll call him a couple. Right on the tackle for Spain Park. Ball at the 41-yard line. Clock is moving. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Hoover scoring the first 21 points of the game. Spain Park has answered. Shaw sidestepping a couple of tackles, getting up close to the 35. We'll check the number and see who hit him first. I think that was 34. Collins with a tackle. So now a third down conversion down for Hoover.
This is a big play for the defense for Spain Park here, Graham, if they can hold Hoover.
They try to spring it wide, and Shaw is close. I think he's short.
I think he's going to be short.
I think it's about a half yard short.
I think you're right.
Jordan Dukes came up from the safety spot to make the stop.
I believe they're going to go for it here.
Well, you're kind of in no man's land, so you might as well, and they're not even going to think about it. 4th and a yard. See what the Bucks have up their sleeve on 4th. There's really not even a yard, about a half yard needed. Shaw, first down, I believe.
Oh, it's going to be close. I'm looking at the official coming across right there with that spot, Graham. It's going to be awfully close.
Well, the Spain Park defense is already leaving the field. I thought he stretched across the 33, but that's not the case. They're not even going to measure.
Wow.
First down, Spain Park on the change of possession.
That was big for the Jaguars right there.
And I apologize. It looked to me like Shaw had stretched just up to what would have been the 33. So old Mo has put on a blue jersey all of a sudden. Yep, he is right there. I mean, it is very, very close. I couldn't see who grabbed his legs, but give him credit for a big play.
A couple of the interior linemen were the guys who stopped his momentum there and kept him from stretching out for the first down.
First down run. About 3 yards for Streeter. And starting to get a little chippy out there between the players. But now you talk to Coach Rainey about these guys, and kind of like we talked about last week, there was a flag, by the way, illegal procedure on Spain Park, and that'll back them up 5 yards. But most of these guys get along. They, like we saw last week when we were in Montgomery.
Yep.
Many of them have grown up playing ball together.
Well, you know, they've played league ball, you know, baseball and football and basketball and wrestling and all of the league sports, you know, coming up recreationally. Some of them went to middle school together. So these guys have grown up together. They know each other well. They just happen to live in different parts of the town and go to different schools, but it's a fairly friendly rivalry.
Running hard is Streeter, but for about, well, we'll say about 3 or 4 yards. There's R.J. Arnold again for the tackle.
The way Coach Rainey worded it was that we know Hoover has the tradition. We know all about them. You know, everybody around here does. They know what Hoover means, and the word Hoover is synonymous with that tradition of championship football. And he said, we're trying to build that here at Spain Park. And he said, we need to get a win in this series to help really make it into a rivalry.
Triple play action, and that one too far downfield, and Spain Park fans want a holding pass interference call. Now, I wasn't watching that side of the field, so I couldn't really tell, but.
Well, you know, it's one of those plays, Graham, where it was probably incidental contact. The legs of the defender and the receiver got tangled up right there as they, you know, and they stumbled and fell, and it's one of those, you might call that, you might not, but more times than not, it's not going to get called.
So a 3rd and 12 for the Jaguars, trailing 21-7. And now a timeout will be taken by Spain Park.
That may be their final timeout of the half.
Why don't we take it with them? 2:55 to play, 21-7, Hoover.
Not everyone can do what an Alacare nurse can do. It comes from within. You have to have that desire and that passion to help patients.
The nurses at Alacare have that passion. passion.
And I think that's what makes Alacare unique.
We have people that have such a passion for what they do.
The staff at Alacare is like family. I wouldn't work anywhere else.
We are looking for nurses like you to join us. Call Alacare today.
What sets ERA King apart? Lead management technology and search engine optimization, virtual tours, curbside audio, enhanced listings with Trulia, Homes.com, and Realtor.com on every single listing. Yes, and rule number 1, just do the right thing.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
I'm Diane Bentley, Alabama's First Lady. Over 15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year, and 10% of high school students are victims of dating abuse. Whether you are experiencing abuse or you think you know someone who is, it's time to speak out. The Alabama Coalition Against Domestic Violence can answer questions about safe dating behavior, as well as provide shelter to those fleeing violent homes. Call 1-800-650-6522 for help and a way out.
Hard work, determination, teamwork. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. These are values that I teach my sons and players on the football field, and they are values we believe in at Wedemark & Key. If you have been hurt, put my firm's hard work, determination, and legal team to work for you.
Wedemark Key, because your case matters. Call 800-309-0500.
Big third down here for Spain Park. They need 12 yards. Right now, 1 of 5 on third down conversions. But they got a chance here, trailing by 14. Screen pass, and it won't net the first down. It does get up close to the 40-yard line for Larry Wooden, but it should be a punting situation for the Jaguars.
And it is. I had a thought maybe that Sean Rainey might think about possibly going for it there, but he didn't hesitate. He sent the field goal unit out there. With this much time left, he didn't want to give Hoover's offense a short field.
Well, and we've seen what Hoover's done with a short field tonight. They have scored a couple of times. The third touchdown coming on a really short field thanks to an interception. Sumter to punt. Low line kick. Hawkins comes up to field it near the 30 and goes right down.
Good coverage.
So no yardage on the return. A.J. Smiley with the tackle. And let's see if Hoover will put the 2-minute offense to work here. Leading by 14. They'll start this at the 28. Of course, next week we've got more high school action. Thursday night touchdowns. We move south. We'll be down in Eufaula to take on Charles Henderson. Of course, our kickoff at 7 o'clock on Thursday night touchdowns here on Raycom.
Down in my neck of the woods next week.
That's right. You're going to take your fishing pole, right? Great fishing down there in Lake Eufaula. Hutchinson rollout pass, finds his man complete at about the 40. Out of bounds there was Alex Elam. I love the way this guy runs patterns.
Oh, he is a good receiver, a money man as we used to call him back when I was coaching. One of those guys, if you find him, he's like Wes Welker. You know, you find him, he's going to make the catch.
You read my mind. That's exactly who I had in mind. Former New England player as Webb hit for a loss. I don't know if the ball came loose. Either way, it was after the whistle. He'll lose about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. Actually, they're going to give him forward progress, no gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock is moving, 2:15 and counting. Now Bradrick Shaw sets up behind Hutchison, and a flag.
That's going to be a substitution infraction, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Chris Parker, the fullback, didn't get off the field. He got off the field, but he didn't get off the field quick enough.
Well, they actually did huddle right there, and they broke the huddle with 12 players, and you're not allowed to do that. That's an automatic substitution infraction. So
all of this is so confusing. 2nd and 15. Swing pass. Shaw looking for running room, still moving. First down across the midfield stripe. He'll get down to the 40. gliding down the field.
There is a flag, however.
Yep, you're right.
I believe that might be a holding call.
Yeah, he's calling everybody back as the head official. And it will be holding.
One of those outside receivers over there, as they set the little screen, the little flare screen out there, and I believe one of those outside receivers had a little too much jersey in his hands.
I don't know if we could see that play again and see just exactly who's guilty, but that could be a big penalty here against Hoover. And I think it might have been.
Might have been right there.
Yeah, I think it might have been number 9. And that was Jimmy Johnson.
That's about the area the flag was dropped. Not sure it was him, so please don't send any nasty emails if you're a relative of his.
He had his hands inside, but he might have also had some jersey. So now 2nd and long, 2nd and 22. Webb still running across the 40 to the 45. And now a much more manageable 3rd down play.
That's how you respond to a penalty right there with a nice big gain.
Why, Webb, you know, they don't list him as any more than about 5'8", 5'9", but he runs a lot bigger than that.
He does.
So now 3rd and 6. Clock under a minute. Hutcherson sends Shaw in motion. Looks over the middle. Wide open.
Wow.
Can he get to the end zone? Touchdown.
56 yards on that play, and how did he get that open? Somebody had a mistake on a coverage, Graham.
Jake Carter. Yeah, I think we've seen that play about once a week.
I think we have.
Here on Thursday Night Touchdowns. Stunning linebacker leaving the middle of the field open.
Well, you got to give Hutcherson credit because he had 2 blue shirts bearing down on him very quickly and actually made a nice throw right there.
Carter, a junior. And a great way to finish the half for Hoover.
So
we've got a substitution infraction against Spain Park. It'll be declined. So 27-7. We were just saying, boy, if Spain Park can get in that locker room, down just a couple of touchdowns, who knows, maybe get downfield, try a field goal before the half. Instead, Hoover has the answer, and they'll try to tack on the extra point for a 21-point lead. That one is up and good. So Schmidt hits the point after attempt, 28-7. And let's look at it again.
Well, he almost lost that thing up on his shoulder pad, but it was able to corral it, get control. And then from there, it was just a foot race, and he already had about a 10-yard head start, so they weren't going to catch it.
I don't know if A.J. Smiley was the player there, the free safety. He had moved up close to the line of scrimmage. Certainly, he's playing center field most of the time.
Right.
And you got a 3rd and 6. Hoover's been running a lot of power to that left side, that strong side, and that's what happened there. And you're right. Hutcherson read it, found his man for the touchdown.
I was impressed with Hutcherson right there because he stood up to the pressure. I mean, he had a couple of guys in his grill when he let that ball go, especially one guy was bearing down on him, and he got hit as soon as he threw the football, but he was still able to deliver a nice, softly thrown ball, almost perfectly thrown for that touchdown.
Schmidt will kick off. 39 seconds left in the half. And if you're Spain Park, you just want to get into the locker room as soon as possible. Jordan Dukes with a return. He gets to about the 19. It looks auspicious for Spain Park, but it's not insurmountable. You saw how quickly they could score.
Right.
The bottom line is take care of the football, both in possession and, don't give it away.
Keep Hoover's offense off the field as much as you can, and for you to be able to do that, your offense has got to sustain some drives and keep the defense at rest and keep the ball in your hands so that the white shirts don't have it. If they don't have it, they can't score too often unless there's a mistake like there was at one point with the interception in the first half.
Spain Park will let the final seconds tick off the clock, and that'll do it. 28-7. Hoover leading homestanding Spain Park. And if you're Coach Sean Rainey, what are you telling your team here at the break?
Well, you just got to go in and you got to regroup a little bit. They've had a couple of good weeks of practice. They've done some positive things in the first half. Basically, you got to say, look, guys, we got to eliminate the mistakes. We got to eliminate the penalties. We got to eliminate the turnovers. And let's see what happens when we do that. And again, we've got to do something on offense to get some drives going.
So 28-7. Let's see Christina, who's got Coach Niblett.
All right, Coach, looks like you guys got off to a slow start, but you're in control. How are you doing it?
Well, first of all, to God be the glory to be able to be out here and play. We started off slow. We had some miscues early. We had a drop touchdown pass we should have had early, and then, legal procedures, not getting lined up, not getting set. Something that when you're off for a week, there's a possibility of that happening. So, we gave up a drive defensively that, we're not real happy with, but we're able to make some big plays. We got to be able to establish the run game, get their safeties out of the box by continue working play action. And if we can continue to do that and play well on special teams, we'll be fine.
What worries you about the second half?
Well, the biggest thing is just coming out fast, playing fast. We get the football, so we need to take it down and score and then get a stop and then go score again. And then we just need to keep wearing them down as the game goes along by being able to run the clock and also by running the football and dictating the flow of the game.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Guys.
28-7. Hoover with the lead as we take the break. We'll have a lot of festivities for you here at halftime. Stay tuned for more here at Spain Park Stadium.
This week, we think you'll be delighted with the places you'll see, even if one is a little dismal. From the Dismals to DeKalb County, we'll show you the photography of a man named Dersham. From DeKalb to Dexter Avenue, we open the vault on one of the most famous streets in the history of the civil rights movement. And we're downtown with some sweet treats in a place called Dolce. It's a taste of the old country, and it's absolutely Alabama.
Last year, I challenged our relocation team to be even better. Their response was, it will cost you your 42-year-old mustache. Today, we're the only platinum-recognized Cartus USA broker in the state of Alabama. I sure miss that mustache.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
You want an appliance for the kitchen, the den, or somewhere else, and you don't just want to score a deal. You want the knowledge that goes with it. Think Cohen's. The price? We hold our own with the big boys on price, but we're undefeated when it comes to service.
After further review, Cohen's win.
So when savings, selection, and answers are all important, just remember there's only one game in town. That's Cohen's. We deliver confidence.
When I go fishing, I ain't settling for nothing but the big fish. And when I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for nothing but the big check. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you go fishing with the insurance adjuster, you may end up settling for some small fish. The last time I went fishing, I came back with a $25 million verdict. Now that's a fishing story you can believe. So after your car wreck, fish where the big fish are. And call me right now.
Call right now, 1-800-218-9000.
It's halftime at Spain Park High School here in Hoover, Alabama. The Bucks lead at 28-7. I'm here with Hoover High School Principal Don Houlihan. Your school has been in the national spotlight athletically, academically. What kind of experience is that for your students?
Oh, it's a wonderful experience, and we try to promote that every year, not only in our athletic program, but in our academic teams. Our band just won a big competition in Georgia this past weekend, so we try to expose our kids to many things in the national spotlight as we possibly can. And I think it creates a great niche for our kids to do great things and put them in that spotlight. And other schools are not able to do that, but we have a great community of great people that work with us and support us, and our kids love it. We love it. We love being in that spotlight.
How has this week been preparing for Spain Park and your students and just the atmosphere that they've enjoyed at school?
It's like every other week. I'm not being facetious. It really is. We try to treat each game as a separate game. we have rivalries all over the state, all over the nation, and it was just another week for us preparing and trying to get to that next round of playoffs when they start and win a state championship.
All right, also joins us Athletic Director Andy Urban. You guys, obviously, athletics has been in the national spotlight, but you recognized, but it's not just football, you guys recognized a lot of athletes today at your pep rally.
Yeah, we had Christian Bell, who made the Semper Fidelis Army All-American game that's to be out in California. It's just a great honor for him, but we also had Darrell Williams, a football player who's an Under Armour All-American, and he'll play in the Under Armour All-American game. But we also had our track team who won the boys and girls outdoor track last year, and then our girls golf team who won the golf state championship last spring, and the Alabama High School was there to honor them and present them with their trophies in front of their students and their peers.
And talk about this rivalry. A lot of people have been referring it to a friendly rivalry. How's it been at school this week?
Well, it's friendly because our kids know each other. I mean, when you get out here to play, you want to beat the other team. It doesn't matter if it's Spain Park or, anybody else, but it's a rivalry because our kids know each other. They grow up playing in the parks with each other. They play youth football together and against each other, and it's built up over time just because they play each other. They know each other by first name. They know their brothers. They know their mothers. It's a big deal because you know the guy that you're lining up across from.
Well, that's very, very friendly rivalry here. Now we're going to take a listen to the Hoover High School Marching Band.
When I go fishing, I ain't settling for nothing but the big fish. And when I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for nothing but the big check. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you go fishing with the insurance adjuster, you may end up settling for some small fish. The last time I went fishing, I came back with a $25 million verdict. Now that's a fishing story you can believe. So after your car wreck, fish where the big fish are. And call me right now.
Call right now, 1-800-218-9000.
You want an appliance for the kitchen, the den, or somewhere else, and you don't just want to score a deal. You want the knowledge that goes with it. Think Cohen's. The price? We hold our own with the big boys on price, but we're undefeated when it comes to service.
After further review, Cohen's wins.
So when savings, selection, and answers are all important, just remember there's only one game in town. That's Cohen's. We deliver confidence.
I'm Diane Bentley, Alabama's First Lady. Over 15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year, and 10% of high school students are victims of dating abuse. Whether you are experiencing abuse or you think you know someone who is, it's time to speak out. The Alabama Coalition Against Domestic Violence can answer questions about safe dating behavior, as well as provide shelter to those fleeing violent homes. Call 1-800-650-6522 for help and a way out.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back to Spain Park High School here in Hoover, Alabama. The Bucks lead it 28-7. It is halftime. Stay here for highlights and stats and more coming up in just a few minutes. But first, the Spain Park High School marching band is setting up on the field. Let's take a listen to see.
Sorry, sir. I didn't know you were down there. Oh, sorry. Go! Come on, girls.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to halftime at Jaguar Stadium. This Saturday here at Jaguar Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, please introduce the president of the Bucks.
Cover here with Spain Park Principal Ken Jarnigan. You guys haven't played Hoover in 2 years, but what do you think this rivalry means to the community and the city of Hoover?
It's a rich and deep rivalry, regardless of the score. We know we're behind tonight, and they are unbeaten by us, but it's still something that this community values. It means a lot to the kids and the parents of this community, so we love this week every year.
You guys, like you said, haven't beaten Hoover, but do you think that's a teachable moment for these kids?
I do. Our football team is up and coming. We're growing through some growing pains right now, actually, but when you play a team like Hoover, you're against the best, so we respect what they do, but we also respect what our coach is doing here at Spain Park, and we're very proud of that.
Obviously, you guys have state-of-the-art athletic facilities and a school, but what are you guys doing in the classroom?
We are very proud of what we're doing academically. Our ACT scores are just skyrocketing right now and way above the state and national average, so we're very proud of that. I'd always say the best faculty I've ever been around in 28 years, so we're really proud of that faculty that's here at Spain Park. We have a strong academy program in engineering and in the medical field, and we have a law academy that's really thriving right now, so we're very proud of what we're doing academically.
Well, good deal. Well, thank you for joining us, and your band is performing.
Glad to have you here.
Guys, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have stats and highlights and more.
Derek was with the scrubs.
Shh. She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger. Stand back, everyone. I'm the doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor, I got it.
Jack, for more.
After you've been injured in a car wreck, you could do this. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. Don't gamble with your case. If you've had a big wreck, you need a big check.
After my big car wreck, I didn't gamble with my case. I hired Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer, and he got me the big check I deserved, $575,000.
After your car wreck, don't take a gamble with the insurance company and call me right now.
Call right now.
Children's of Alabama has been taking care of kids across our state for over 100 years. The opening of the Benjamin Russell Hospital for Children allows even more patient care. It leads the country in technology and innovation, including 17 state-of-the-art operating rooms, an expanded imaging center, and the Bruno Pediatric Heart Center, just to name a few. Children provides the highest level of care in a loving, comforting environment. I hope that you or anyone in your family never needs to be a patient, but if they do, Children's is here for you.
Welcome back. Spain Park trailing 28-7 here at the break. The top-ranked Bucks of Hoover. And really nothing that just was eye-popping of what Hoover did in this first half, but they did it enough over and over and over again, and then they do break one big play there towards the end.
Well, you know, it was Hoover being Hoover. You know, I guess that's what you say about them is you can tell a polished program and a polished team and a team that's used to having success. Sometimes they don't look that impressive, but you look at the scoreboard and they're up 3 touchdowns, you know, and they did some impressive things, and they didn't really have but, you know, a couple of big plays in that half, and they had of course they had an interception return for a touchdown. So, you know, it just yeoman's work for Hoover, doing what they do best.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights from the first half, and started with a great slant pattern for their first points.
Trey Brackett, the 5-yard catch from Jack Hutchison on the slant pattern.
And then another post pattern that Alex Elam with a nice play. That would set up touchdown number 2.
And touchdown number 2, Bradwick Shaw a 4-yard run, bulled his way into the end zone.
And then you might call this one a gift.
Yeah, it was a gift. It was a throw, and I'm not sure what happened there, whether the receiver made the wrong cut or what, but the only guy there to catch the football was a white shirt, and he ran it into the end zone.
Big play of the first half for Spain Park, a nice over-the-shoulder grab.
And Trent Harper there with a 29-yard catch, able to tiptoe and get his foot inside the pylon, and then the big play maybe right here, sort of a back-breaking type play late in the half. Quincy Cox, the 56-yard touchdown reception on some kind of blown coverage right there in the secondary for Spain Park.
As you take a look at some numbers again, not necessarily eye-popping. You know, we talked about the possession time. It's not on there, but it basically evened up. In fact, I want to say, and you've got the stats there, I think they've run about the same number of plays.
Less than a minute's worth of difference in the time of possession, and the number of plays run, 30 plays for Hoover, 29 for Spain Park, 216 total yards for Hoover, 124 of those in the air. Of course, the big 56-yard play was added to that, else those would be a little more even. 92 yards rushing for the Bucks, 66 for Spain Park. So 216 to 116, but the big stat right there, Graham, is 2 turnovers. Now, Hoover only made them pay for one of those, and that was with the touchdown, the pick 6, but still a couple of turnovers and some big penalties for Spain Park in the first half that really sort of quelled their momentum when they had something going.
They would get a big play and then end up going backwards due to a penalty. Well, they've got another half to try to correct it. 28-7, Spain Park. Got some work to do against their nemesis and old rival, Hoover. We'll have the second half kickoff coming up shortly right here on Thursday Night Touchdown.
When I go fishing, I ain't settling for nothing but the big fish. And when I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for nothing but the big check. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you go fishing with the insurance adjuster, you may end up settling for some small fish. The last time I went fishing, I came back with a $25 million verdict. Now that's a fishing story you can believe. So after your car wreck, fish where the big fish are. And call me right now.
Call right now, 1-800-218-9000.
2014 marks the 75th year our state parks have served the people of Alabama. During this diamond anniversary, you'll discover special events to celebrate this milestone. Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Whether you like camping under the stars or staying at a resort lodge, the Alabama State Parks specialize in amazing family adventures. Let's make this the best year yet. We depend on our partners, and just like these folks here, you can be a partner too by supporting our state parks.
Visit our park today!
44 years and growing, ERA King is the exception to the rule. We actually grew during the recent recession. How was this possible? My dad had a simple explanation. Just do the right thing. We're ERA King Real Estate.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
Derek, what's with the scrubs?
Shh.
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger. Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Whoop. I got it. I'm a doctor. I got it.
Jack, for more.
He's got a light blue hat on. He's got a light blue top on.
Just to start the second half, 28-7. The Hoover Bucks with a lead over Spain Park. The Jaguars, these two programs within shouting distance of each other, as we've already discussed. But that's about the only thing that's been close so far in this series.
It has. Spain Park's still looking to get that elusive first win over Hoover. And right now, to be quite honest, it doesn't look like it's going to happen tonight, but we do have 2 quarters of football left to play, so anything can happen.
Yeah, they're going to need a couple of big plays if they're to get back in it. Of course, Hoover's used to this. They, quite frankly, they not only have they won every game, but they have been dominant over the last 3 games. And again, you have to go back to 2011 for the last time that these two plays. But it's 94-10 cumulative in the last 3 games.
Right. Yes.
But I mean, that's where you stand right now. What you're up against, if you're Spain Park, and Christina, I believe, has Coach Sean Rainey. Christina?
Coach, you guys couldn't get much going on in the first half. What are you guys going to have to do in the second half to put points on the board?
We got sustained drives on offense. They're really good on defense. We knew that coming in, and we get giving up too many big plays on defense. You can't do that against that kind of team and have a chance. So we got to try to get those fixed in the secondary.
Like you said, defensively has been your focus. You guys had a couple of big stops, fourth down right before the end of the half, but what adjustments do you have to make?
Just secondary, we had a couple of coverage busts, and they've been able to execute and make plays, and you can't do that against a team like they've got. So we got to get those correct. I think our kids have played hard. We just made we talked about playing effort and execution. The effort's been there, but the execution, what they're supposed to do, they have not done that. So we got to get fixed after coming in the second half.
All right, good luck, Coach.
Hoover will have it to start the second half. Want to remind you again, next Thursday, Eufaula and Charles Henderson, the Trojans and the Tigers. That's a key Class 5A game.
5A, I believe. I
got to run it through my mind where everybody is as far as what classifications they're in. But these two teams, right now, probably the two best teams in Region 2.
Region 2 5A, Eufaula on top with a 2-0 record. Now they're 3-2 overall. But they're 2-0 in their region so far. Greenville right behind, we're really the same record as them, 2-0 and 3-2. Charles Henderson at 1-1 and 3-2 overall. So that should be a good ball game next Friday night down in Eufaula.
Again, kickoff 7 o'clock on Thursday night touchdowns. Hope you can join us.
Right down there near, I'll make Randy happy here, right down there near Lake Point State Park on beautiful Lake Eufaula down there.
Have you been fishing down there?
I have been a few times, and I tell you, I went to a place, Graham, on Lake Eufaula called Alligator Alley.
Nice.
And I know why it was called Alligator Alley, because everywhere you looked, there were gators. I saw one that was probably about 9 feet long, I believe, sunning himself on the bank.
I can tell you right now, we will not be stopping by there on our way to Eufaula.
Now, there is a little store right outside Eufaula, right on Highway 80, and they do have gators inside a fence that you can watch in a pond out there. So
there are two things I don't mess with, alligators and snakes, and probably a few other animals that I don't want to talk about. Marcus Webb with a yard gain on the first play here from scrimmage in the second half. One thing I've loved about what we've done this fall, getting a chance to go to so many places, including this one here, as Hutchison will look to throw deep. And that time he overthrew his man, and it is intercepted. A.J. Smiley camped under that one and makes the grab, and a big turnover here. And we'll see what that does for momentum for the Jaguars.
Well, Graham, you mentioned at the end of the half a while ago, A.J. Smiley normally is back there in center field. And for whatever reason on that play before, whether they were running a stunt on the 56-yard touchdown for Hoover, he was not in the middle of the field. This time he was right where you expected him to be and was sitting there waiting on that throw, which was a little high and a little overthrown by Hutchison.
It was intended for Alex Elam. Instead, 1st and 10, Spain Park at their own 49. So a turnover first of the game, I believe, against Hoover. Buck sweep near side. Breaking a couple of tackles, and getting, actually he only got up to the line of scrimmage. It looked like it might be more than that for Trent Harper, but at least he didn't lose any yardage.
Well, there's that man again wearing number 48, making a stop right there.
R.J. Arnold.
We've talked about him several times tonight. He seems to be, everywhere the football is, there seems to be number 48 right there close.
As you see, Harper broke one tackle deep behind the line of scrimmage, but there to clean up was Arnold, 2nd and 10. And Spain Park huddling. We hadn't seen that much tonight. Then they run up to the line of scrimmage. Deep drop. They'll set up the screen, and that one's incomplete. Looked like the intended receiver, which I believe was Wooden, had fallen down.
He tripped over somebody, and was laying on the ground when that pass went by him. So a kind of a busted play there. It looked like they might have had a little screen set there.
I was about to say,
gotten it completed.
I like that play when you've got a team that is heavy pursuit like Hoover on the defensive front. They bring all 7. Screenplay tends to work. This time, Duke works from the shotgun. Straight to the lone setback. Pass over the middle, incomplete. A little bit behind Parker Kelly, the tight end. So, again, Spain Park, great field position, can't do anything with it.
Well, and I tell you, Graham, yeah, the pass was a little bit behind the tight end right there, but at some point, Spain Park has got to start making those plays. Those are catchable balls. There have been several of them that have been catchable for them tonight. At some point, somebody's got to make a play for the quarterback, even when the pass is not perfect. And that could have been a big play for them right there.
Sumter boots one. That's a beautiful
nice
punt. Hawkins at the 12. Breaks one, but not the second tackle, and he'll get up close to the 17.
39-yard kick right there. Nice hang time. Good spiral kick.
That gave Jordan Dukes a chance to make the tackle. We got to take a timeout. 28-7, Hoover on top.
Last year, I challenged our relocation team to be even better. Their response was, it will cost you your 42-year-old mustache. Today, we're the only platinum-recognized Cartus USA broker in the state of Alabama. I sure miss that mustache.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
Derek, what's with the scrubs?
She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor. I got it.
Jack, Jack, Jack for more.
This year, our Alabama State Parks are celebrating their 75th anniversary. To learn more about our amazing Alabama State Parks, download their new mobile app. Go to alapark.com. That's ALAPARK.com. Click on the link for a free download. Graham Dunn, Mike Peacock, Christina Chambers in Spain Park. And a negative play for Hoover on offense on 1st and 10. And I'll say it, positive play for Spain Park defense.
Spain Park's got a little pep in their step coming out of halftime. And, Sean Rainey probably had a good conversation with his team at halftime, probably told him some of the same things we talked about it at the break. What do you tell your team? You got to start doing something positive, and you got to take advantage of things. And hopefully they can get themselves back in this ball game here.
Bradrick Shaw, the lone setback. Hutchison will throw in the flat. That one is caught and then dropped.
And a nice hit over there. I believe that was 27 for Spain Park. Rondeus Johnson, a big hit on the receiver over there, has jarred him loose from the ball, and another positive play for Spain Park.
Alex Elam, the intended receiver. Well, they turned the ball, got a turnover, I should say, the first possession. And now they've got Hoover 3rd and long. Ball sitting at the 13. Clock is stopped for a moment. 9:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. One man in motion. And the throw, or I should say, Hutchison keeps it, and I believe he got a first down.
He got awfully close. No flags.
Young was there to make the tackle.
Let's see where they mark him down. He's going to be just about a yard short, I believe.
Yeah, he got to the 26. He needed the 27. I guess he skidded forward for a yard, but I don't think Josh Niblett's going to take a chance here with a 21-point lead. So the punting unit comes on. And Altman will set up to kick. He punted twice in the first half, 25-yard average. Has to go down and get the snap. And a fair catch at the 48. Once again, Good field position for the Jaguars.
Really nice field position. And again, the rush from Spain Park made the Hoover punter rush a little bit on that kick and probably didn't get as much on it as he would have liked.
So 1st and 10 for the Jaguars, trailing. 8:42 to go here in the third quarter. Streeter behind Duke. Handoff to him. Following his block and gets about 8. They'll bring him down at the 45. He was hit first by Jeremy Williams, but not before about, we'll call it a 7-yard gain. Run straight ahead. That's really what I think Spain Park has been having more success doing. As you see it here, you see Streeter just put his hand on the back of the blocker. 2nd and 3. Another positive gain. This one, I believe, gets a first down for Streeter in Spain Park.
Well, you know, Sean Rainey told Christina in the interview right there at the end of halftime, he said, we've got to sustain some drives. We've got to quit making mistakes. And so far on this drive, they're doing what they wanted to do coming into the game, having some success running the football.
1st and 10, they'll give it to him again. This time a minimal gain. Got about 2, maybe 3. Anthony Monroe there for the tackle. So a gain of 2. I'll tell you a guy we haven't called much tonight, and that's Darrell Williams.
We have not. You know, he's been in on a couple of plays, but we haven't said his name very much. I've noticed him a lot of times in coverage on some of these trips formations. Ooh,
dancing
big
for
contact
about
there.
Yeah, by about 4 yards.
I believe that was initiated more by Streeter than it was the defensive player. But there's a guy again, number 48. That was the guy who was in the hole.
Yep, R.J. Arnold. So now a 3rd and 4 coming up for Spain Park. They seem to have slowed the pace just a little bit.
Just a tad.
They're huddling more here in the second half. 2-back set this time. We haven't seen that. Great fake, looking deep. And over the head of the intended receiver. Boy, if that pass would have been a little bit shorter, that would have been 6 for Trent Harper.
Well, you know, Graham, I'm not sure what that play called for there, but it looked like Harper maybe broke his route off a little bit in traffic, and the quarterback went ahead and threw it to the end zone, expecting him to be there. That wasn't a typical overthrow right there. That looked like the spot he thought he was supposed to throw the football to, and the receiver just didn't get there.
I got to give Duke credit again, though. What a fake he made. Made Hoover pause just enough for him to get rid of the pass, and now a very late timeout called by Hoover.
And some unhappy defensive coaches over there that they had to call that timeout because they didn't have some folks in the right place, I believe.
That is the first timeout for Hoover here in the second half. They call this the Battle of Hoover. And I dare say, going back to something that you said that Coach Rainey talked about, is it really a rivalry when one of the sides hasn't won a game yet?
Well, you know, we haven't mentioned my favorite quote either, but he did say that. He said, everybody calls this a rivalry. Everybody says this is a rivalry, but it's not really a rivalry until both teams get some wins and you get after each other.
I'll tell you one thing Spain Park does do well, and that's play baseball, and Christina can tell us about that.
Absolutely.
Yes, guys, quarterback Mason Duke is the starting pitcher for Spain Park. Obviously, he also plays on their baseball team and was a starting pitcher for their state championship win last year. He's been on several visits for baseball out to several colleges, so looks like he's on the route to play baseball in college.
If you hadn't seen him play baseball and you watched him throw the football, you can understand why. Big play here, 4th down. They need the 31. Here comes Hoover.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
There's that guy we had. There's Darrell Williams. We haven't called his name. He had his buddy there. That number 48 I've been talking about all night.
That man again, R.J. Arnold.
The duo, a 16-yard loss there. But I'll add something to what Christina said. You know, not only is Mason Duke a good baseball player, but Wade Streeter is a quality baseball player as well. And he might have a choice to make coming up after high school and which sport he plays.
Not only does Hoover make a stop on 4th down, they change field position by some 15 yards.
Boy, they created a nice situation for themselves with that blitz there and sack.
Webb, good first down play of about 6 yards.
But I tell you, Graham, you made a remark earlier about the size of Webb. He's not a big guy, but he runs a lot bigger than he is. And he just keeps his legs moving and keeps going forward. And that's a prime example right there. He was in a crowd, didn't have a lot of room, but kept his legs pumping and got about 7 yards.
He'll try it again, same play. This time a first down and more. And he's brought down inside the 30, but not before another big play and another first down for Hoover. And now you've got to wonder, after that 13-yard gain, what about the legs for this Spain Park defense?
Right. You know, they've been on the field a good bit. Hoover's maybe starting to wear him down a little bit, even though it's early here in the third quarter.
Webb making a missed tackles.
But you heard Coach Niblett in his interview going out of halftime say, you know, it's key for us to come out early in the second half and drive the football and sort of start wearing them down a little bit. And I think that's the strategy here.
Pretty much what you're going to see here. I think you'll see a lot of this, especially in this third quarter. 2nd and 5. And this time they try the left side. Shaw, first down, still running at the 10. What was that you were saying? Keep those legs churning.
Keep those legs moving. Keep going forward. A 15-yard gain right there. Broke about 3 tackles.
Jordan Dukes.
Shaw's a big, strong back.
Yep.
He runs hard.
They all are.
They all. You're right. They all are.
Again, he'll break several tackles here before Dukes brings him down. He saved the touchdown, really.
Here he is again.
10. And into the end zone, Shaw.
Not going to save that touchdown. He got those shoulders turned and got going north and south, and nobody was going to keep him out of the end zone right there.
So a touchdown, 10 yards for Hoover. Broderick Shaw with a run, his second touchdown of the night. And the lead now 34-7, point after coming. Have we mentioned the number of players on the Hoover roster tonight?
Oh, they're having a down year. They're down to just 156 players on their roster. It's, you know.
That kick, was it? Yep, it was good. I thought it might be a little wide, but it does go through the uprights for
He kicks it
Schmidt.
so high.
He does.
That sometimes you can't really tell. You have to wait on the officials to give a signal.
Timeout on the field. Hoover in control, 35-7.
Relax, Carlos. With McDonald's, you can afford to win them both over.
Right now, you choose any 2 Big Mac sandwich, Filet-O-Fish sandwich, or 10-piece chicken McNuggets for only $5.
When facing a life-threatening illness, you often go through a range of emotions. You can't really put it into words, but all you know is that help is needed. Alacare Hospice is an approach to healthcare that is designed to support the physical, emotional, and spiritual needs of someone nearing end of life. Alacare Hospice is fully covered by Medicare and most private insurance policies, and it allows you to stay in the best place possible, your own home. Ask your doctor about the care that Alacare Home Health and Hospice provides.
Style is more than just a look. It's a reflection of how you see the world. Hey! It's not just about being trendy or current. It's about being true. It's distinct, personal, and authentic. And it's defined by everything you do. Hey! At Schaefer Eye Center, we don't just improve your vision. We help shape the way the world sees you.
I'm Diane Bentley, Alabama's First Lady. Over 15 million children are exposed to domestic violence each year, and 10% of high school students are victims of dating abuse. Whether you are experiencing abuse or you think you know someone who is, it's time to speak out. The Alabama Coalition Against Domestic Violence can answer questions about safe dating behavior, as well as provide shelter to those fleeing violent homes. Call 1-800-650-6522 for help and a way out.
Hoover getting ready to kick off again. Now leading 35-7, their largest lead of this game. It comes here with 5:17 to play in the third quarter. Boy, Spain Park just gets right up to the line and just can't go across it, so to speak.
Yep, it's a tough situation.
And more short yardage to go as that ball is off the chest of the receiver, and it's plopped down on about the 13-yard line. So first time tonight that terrible field position for Spain Park. Really haven't said that much tonight.
We haven't. Neither team has had what you call bad field position.
In Orange Beach at the Wharf, October 4th. That's this Saturday. Come and enjoy the LA Gumbo Fest tailgate edition. Food, arts, crafts, music, lots of family fun, and you might win Bob's Iron Bowl tickets. Go to gumboforlife.com for all the information. Gumboforlife.com.
I bet Bob has some good seats for the Iron Bowl. What do you think?
I bet you he does too. Ooh, great pursuit by Hoover, and it's like they've turned it up a notch here in these last couple of plays. And I want to go back to what we were talking about, the short field. It's been good news for Hoover, not so much for Spain Park.
Well, Graham, it's a risk-reward kind of thing against Hoover. We talked about it in the first half, maybe with about 2.5 minutes left. Do you go for it on fourth down? Sean Rainey said, no, we don't go for it on fourth down. We punt it because we don't want to give Hoover a short field. In the third quarter here, he does go for it on fourth down, and Hoover gets the big sack, flips the field position. They get a plus field, and they score, I think, for the third time in the game on offense in a plus field situation. And, it's a big risk-reward situation. You don't want to give Hoover a short field because they, more times than not, will take advantage.
Streeter with about an 8-yard carry. He was brought down by Bagley.
They got a lineman down for Spain Park. Looks like it could be cramps.
And we really haven't talked much about the weather tonight. Now, this weekend it's supposed to cool off, but it hasn't yet. It's muggy. We had some rain come through before the game. In fact, we thought we might be standing near it up here near the press box. We're not actually in the press box tonight.
Yeah, we are outside, and we were really afraid that we were going to have to make the homemade rain jackets tonight.
Yeah, well, get ready. You might need it. I just looked at the.
We were just showing the radar by our stats guy. Thanks, Ken. We really needed to see that.
There's a lot of dark green and blue in that. I don't know what the blue means, but either way, we might be getting wet here. I spoke too soon. 3rd and 4 and nothing. Spain Park has had some success running up the middle, but it's been more counter plays.
Right.
And to be quite honest, I couldn't tell if that was much more than just a straight off tackle, but whatever the case, they're punting again.
And they need a good kick here. As you see our location.
We love it here.
We do.
We love it.
In front of the Coca-Cola
I'm at a high school football game. What more do I need to say? Sumter to punt. And that one might get up here. That one off the side of his foot. And again, great field position. Maybe the best start for Hoover tonight.
It might be the best start. It is, I believe, the best start of the night for Hoover. Only a 19-yard punt right there as Sumter caught it off the side of his foot. Had the old dying duck spin on it as it came out of bounds over here. So really good field position for the Bucks as they start this drive.
And we might see a new quarterback. I think we do. Chris Vaccarella, a junior, 5'10", 160. He has played a good bit.
He has.
Of course, they've had some big leads that's allowed him to do so.
And I believe, Graham, we were talking about this before the game. I believe his dad played at Auburn. Was a at least maybe played some quarterback. I think maybe a backup quarterback for Auburn. I think his name was also Chris, if I'm not mistaken.
You're seeing a lot of fresh jerseys in there for Hoover. In fact, that carry first time tonight for C.J. Sturdivant, a sophomore. But this is why Hoover is Hoover. We already mentioned 156 on the roster. And again, that is not, as that one gets away from Vaccarella, and he's still going to try to make the play, and he does almost.
It did bounce. I thought the receiver kept it off the ground.
John Etheridge, the intended receiver.
I think he thought he kept it off the ground because he was a little bit upset with the official when he came up there.
It did bounce, so now a 3rd and 9. But again, going back to what Hoover has to play with. It's really unlike anybody else in the state. Their roster, their varsity roster, 150, 160 players. And again, that does not include the JV.
Right. That's just the varsity roster.
3rd and 9 from the 37. Vaccarella throws it in the flat. That's actually a running play for Webb, and he's going to get a first down, still on his feet across the 25, down to the 20, close to the 15.
He keeps those legs going, and he runs big. I'm going to tell you, for a guy who's no bigger than he is, 21-yard gain right there simply off sheer effort. He gets some space, gets away, gets some speed going, but then contact comes, and he just keeps his legs and he keeps his momentum going forward and gains about 8 more yards right there just off effort.
A lot of arm tackling, though, by Spain Park. They are not breaking down near as much. And, of course, Webb makes you pay when you do.
Absolutely.
Ball at the 17. Flag comes in, and that play more than likely will come back due to a hold, but Sturdivant with his 2nd carry of the night. But you talk about teams that reload. I don't even know you count this as reloading.
I don't think you call it reloading. I just think I don't know what term you would use for it. You're not really reloading. You're just
it's just the next year.
Just moving
forward.
Moving up, moving forward.
There was some concern, as you might expect, from some of the Hoover fans after those 2 opening losses. But again, both of them outside the state and both premier programs.
Well, one thing that Coach Niblett said about those first 2 ball games, he said, hey, we were still trying to feel our way around and find out who we were. And he said, we couldn't get out of our own way in those first 2 ball games. And they finally worked some things out and got it going. So,
by the way, the wind is here.
It is.
And I think we know what's behind it.
Hopefully it'll hold off for a while.
We can hope. Make that 2nd and 18. All at the 25. Vaccarella to throw. Fade pattern, intercepted, left it short. And it's intercepted by Spain Park. Let me check the number. Is that number 9? I believe it is. And that'll be Michael Jackson with the interception. So it'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20. 2nd turnover of the night by Hoover.
Michael's
left it a little short.
Michael Jackson playing football.
I'm going to leave all of those nomenclature and all that.
I'm just going to stop right there.
Yeah, I don't even want to go there. I'm sure he gets enough of that in the school hall.
I'm not even going to try my high-pitched.
No, please don't. We'll leave that to
Michael
Christina.
Jackson
let her do all the high-pitched stuff.
There we go.
She was singing earlier tonight. We'll let her take care of all that. So 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Jaguars. And again,
I will throw in that interception had to be a thriller.
I was wondering where you would go. That was kind of weak, Michael. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. That was the obvious one.
It was.
I thought you were going to say it was a PYT, but I guess not. Play lost a yard.
Well, he didn't stop till he got enough, so, there we go.
At least it wasn't off the wall. 2nd and 11. I'm stopping right there. You can't stop him. You can only contain him. And a completion, that might be enough for a first down.
I believe it is.
Derek Williams with a reception, and it is a first down for Spain Park. We're still in the 3rd quarter. Stranger things have happened.
You're right. And, Spain Park could get themselves conceivably back into this game here.
Well, we've seen how quickly they can score. They did it with that 1 touchdown. Streeter straight ahead. Got 2, maybe 3.
But I tell you, Graham, if I'm not wrong,
and you rarely are,
since the 2 losses to the out-of-state teams, Hoover's defense had only given up 6 points, and those 6 points were against a reserve defense.
That's right. They have given up 7 tonight, but where it counts, they lead it by 28. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Touchdown.
After you've been injured in a car wreck, you could do this. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. Don't gamble with your case. If you've had a big wreck, you need a big check.
After my big car wreck, I didn't gamble with my case. I hired Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer, and he got me the big check I deserved, $575,000.
After your car wreck, don't take a gamble with the insurance company and call me right now.
Call right now.
I got a call from Ashley, one of my customers, because
it looks like there's been some sort of explosion.
There is soot everywhere, all over this house, and she finds something very strange.
Someone's been here.
Call 911. I'll be right there.
I came home.
It turns out someone tried to break into her house, and they got stuck in the chimney. Ashley was covered for the damage to the chimney and the cleanup.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
Derek, what's with the scrubs?
Shh. She's going for it. It's gonna work. She's going for the burger.
Stand back, everyone. I'm a doctor. Look, I got it. Doctor, I got it.
Jack, 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 for more, more, more.
Children's of Alabama has been taking care of kids across our state for over 100 years. The opening of the Benjamin Russell Hospital for Children allows even more patient care. It leads the country in technology and innovation, including 17 state-of-the-art operating rooms, an expanded imaging center, and the Bruno Pediatric Heart Center, just to name a few. Children provides the highest level of care in a loving, comforting environment. I hope that you or anyone in your family never needs to be a patient, but if they do, Children's is here for you.
Oak Mountain State Park is the place to be on October the 11th. Mark your calendar now. Don't miss the Bumhauer Shrimp Fest and Barbecue. $3 admission for food, drink, live music, entertainment for the kids, featuring Alabama Gulf Seafood. We'll see you next Saturday at Oak Mountain. We start the fourth quarter. Spain Park with work to do here, and that play gets little or nothing. Christina down on the track. What you got?
Just kind of what we talked about the other day. I'm here with Sergeant First Class Trey Anderson. You recruit here, obviously, at Spain Park and Hoover High School. What do you say to these kids who want to join the National Guard?
For kids who are in high school, especially our seniors, we have a lot of educational benefits. If they want to go into college, we offer the Montgomery GI Bill. We have a federal tuition assistance program that pays tuition toward their college. And we have the Army National Guard Education Assistance Program. And that'll cover most of their college. If they get a scholarship, this is just extra in addition to it.
And what kind of jobs do you guys offer?
We have a lot of technical jobs. We have aviation, electronics. We have structural repair for aviation. We have welders, plumbers, carpenters, mechanics, computer engineers, chaplain's assistants, and there's just a lot of jobs that the general public doesn't know about that we have to offer, and a lot of those skills come with secret and top secret clearances.
And if those who are watching this and they want to find out more information, do you guys have a website they can check out?
They can go to alabamaarmynationalguard.com. And we also have a new app. It's on the App Store that they can download. And once they download that app, it sends information to me based on their zip code.
All right. Guys, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you. And while you were having that discussion, an injury apparently to the starting quarterback for Spain Park as Mason Duke had to be helped off the field.
Well, he did. He had a couple of his linemen basically carried him off the field. Looked like maybe a right foot or ankle injury. As he came off the field, he got wrapped up by a couple of players on the sack from Hoover there, and could not put a lot of weight on that right foot. Hopefully it's just something that he'll be able to walk off, and he is trying to walk it off on the sidelines right now. That's a good sign. Looks like he's getting around much better than he was when he came off the field, but we'll see what happens from here on out for Spain Park.
C.J. Sturdivant goes for about 8 yards. A.J. Smiley on the tackle, 2nd and 2. And I'm noticing something on the sideline, something that's rather new, and we'll get to that here after this play. And I don't know if our camera guys can get it, but it's, you talk about using newfangled technology. As Vaccarella is loose inside the 10, can he get to the pylon? Touchdown!
Wow.
50 yards on the touchdown run.
Showing a little speed right there from the quarterback position as he came out to this right side and got the sideline. The flow had gone left. Vaccarella broke out right. I don't know if it was a straight bootleg. It actually was a great fake right there on the counter play. Took the defense to the left, and Vaccarella gets all by himself and shows some speed getting down that sideline. Nice run for the young quarterback, and another score for Hoover.
And again, he is just a junior. So the extra point is up and good. And the lead now 42-7 for Hoover. We'll take a break. 9:29 left to play in this one. All Hoover.
You want an appliance for the kitchen, the den, or somewhere else, and you don't just want to score a deal. You want the knowledge that goes with it. Think Cohen's. The price? We hold our own with the big boys on price, but we're undefeated when it comes to service.
After further review, Cohen's wins.
So when savings, selection, and answers are all important, just remember there's only one game in town. That's Cohen's. We deliver confidence.
Science is how we continually improve the quality of care. Earlier detection, newer therapies, laser procedures, creative new treatments, innovation in lenses. At Schaefer Eye Center, these aren't simply services we offer our patients. They're how we're using technology to help them see well into the future.
When I go fishing, I ain't settling for nothing but the big fish. And when I take on the insurance company, I ain't settling for nothing but the big check. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. If you go fishing with the insurance adjuster, you may end up settling for some small fish. The last time I went fishing, I came back with a $25 million verdict. Now that's a fishing story you can believe. So after your car wreck, fish where the big fish are. And call me right now.
Call right now, 1-800-218-9000.
A 35-point lead for Hoover thanks to this play by the backup quarterback.
Well, watch this. First of all, the fake is a great fake, carried out by both the quarterback and the back right there. Got the defense flowing to that side of the field, and then Vaccarella is all by himself and shows really nice speed getting to the outside and scoring that touchdown.
And again, that's on the first team defense for Spain Park.
Exactly. And
they sucked in the corners.
I mean, it all started with the fake. It was very well carried out, and you got to give the back credit, too, on that because he really carried that fake out and drew the defense.
Darrell Royal would be proud.
He would.
As that kick goes through the end zone. Of course, Darrell Royal and...
of course, a lot of people are sitting there going, say, who in the heck is Darrell Royal?
I'm about to tell them if they'll hang on. Emery Ballard, who coached at Mississippi State, and Darrell Royal coached at the University of Texas. They created the wishbone/option.
They did.
Which later so many teams, including Bear Bryant and Alabama, used.
Absolutely.
Eventually, I think Auburn used it with Doug Barfield.
I think they did some. You're right. And,
some of it was considered the veer. You don't see it much anymore.
Every now and then.
But it's out there. New quarterback for Spain Park. It is number 15, Brian Sanderson, who's a junior. Let me back up. I got double numbers here. That is actually Hunter Howell, the sophomore and quarterback. And apparently the night is done for Mason Duke, and we hope it's only because there's no sense in risking any more injury. He did limp off the field after that last possession.
And he is standing on the sideline with his helmet in his hand, and he was moving around quite a bit better, trying to walk off. I believe he just turned that ankle, and he was trying to walk it off. But here's a good run by Streeter.
And he'll get a first down. Stiff arm at the 35 to pick up a couple more. A lot of second, third teamers out there for both Hoover and Spain Park at this point.
Well, a good cut in the backfield to his left. Gets a good stiff arm right there about the 30-yard line, adds about 6 or 7 more yards. A nice run for Streeter.
So first and 10 at the 36, 42-7. Hoover with a lead. And crossing the 40 up close to the 42. I believe that was Wooden.
It was. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with Wooden. He's Coach Rainey told me, and there's Mason Duke walking on the sideline, not limping as bad. He is still limping. But Coach Rainey told me that Wooden was going to be a good one. He's just a sophomore, got good size, good speed. Look for big things out of him in the years to come for Spain Park.
He'll get close to the first down, might be a yard short at the 45. And again, a lot of wholesale substitutions, as you might expect in a 35-point game. So 3rd and 1. Well, Hoover, and I hate to say this because I don't want to jinx anybody or anything, but maybe their toughest test in region play will come next week when they take on Tuscaloosa County, who was upset last week, by the way. And that'll get the first down and move the change for the Jaguars. And Streeter has it. Tuscaloosa County was ripping through everybody early on.
They were.
And then they ran into Oak Mountain last week.
And Oak Mountain got what can be considered, I guess, the upset win over Tuscaloosa County last week. But you look at the standings in the region. Hoover, of course, at top at 3-0. Oak Mountain 2-1. Tuscaloosa County 2-1. Mountain Brook 2-1. And here's a bad play for Spain Park.
Yep, snap over the head. And Streeter has to run it down all the way back to the 29, a loss of 21
yards.
Wow.
And you know, that's because Streeter jumped on that ball. That's probably going to go on his rushing totals.
Well, it should.
It should
be a team
should
loss.
Be a team loss, I hope. I hope that doesn't go on his rushing total, because he had turned his numbers around positively with some good carries here in the second half. And I'd hate to see one like that be counted against him when it was not his fault at all.
Yeah, I got to give Streeter credit. He has had a good night. Wooden with a carry there. Up across the 35 back to the 37. But they've still got a long way to go. But going back to the region standings, of course, these are before tonight's game.
Right.
Hoover will be on top at 4-0.
Right.
Spain Park's going to drop to 1-3. They're still in playoff contention. It's nowhere near time to count them out of that. But Tuscaloosa County next week, big one for Hoover. Wooden again.
Is that a road game or a home game for Hoover? Do you know?
I think they're on the road. Christina, what you got?
Well, guys, you notice the TV setup on the Spain Park bench. That is actually game footage being fed into an Apple TV, which will show instant replays where the coaches can sit their team down and actually replay and go through and pick out what they actually did wrong. It's called Varsity Works. And Spain Park school officials actually said they first saw it at Hueytown, and then they adopted it there themselves. So it's a good change of pace for these kids who can actually walk off the field and see what they did wrong in the previous play.
And does it get ESPN? That's my question. Oh, I thought I would try. Timeout on the field. Hoover in control. 4:53 left.
We're carrying on and bringing more to the table.
You work hard for a living, but sometimes making ends meet is a challenge. The last thing you need is to be worried about foreclosure, garnishment, repossession, or a payday loan. You can get relief today by calling the law firm of Kavanaugh and Boone.
We're Kavanaugh and Boone, bringing more to the table.
Not everyone can do what an Alacare nurse can do. It comes from within.
You have to have that desire and that passion to help patients.
The nurses at Alacare have that passion.
And I think that's what makes Alacare unique.
We have people that have such a passion for what they do.
The staff at Alacare is like family. I wouldn't work anywhere else.
We are looking for nurses like you to join us. Call Alacare today.
Children's of Alabama has been taking care of kids across our state for over 100 years. The opening of the Benjamin Russell Hospital for Children allows even more patient care. It leads the country in technology and innovation, including 17 state-of-the-art operating rooms, an expanded imaging center, and the Bruno Pediatric Heart Center, just to name a few. Children provides the highest level of care in a loving, comforting environment. I hope that you or anyone in your family never needs to be a patient, but if they do, Children's is here for you.
Come join the fun, food, and football at the LA Gumbo Festival, October 4th, located at the Wharf in Orange Beach, Alabama. This family event will feature a gumbo cook-off with contestants competing to win over world-class chefs and a celebrity panel of judges, craft booths, an art show, and football games on over 70 flat screens located in Baumhauer's and the Complete Angler. This special tailgate edition will feature a chance to win Bob's personal Iron Bowl tickets. Don't miss the excitement and fun that will make this weekend a yearly event on your calendar.
4:53 remaining. Spain Park trying to add some to their 7 points. They've got a first down here, 1st and 10.
And people may be wondering coming out of this timeout, how in the world does Spain Park have the football again when they just punted? Well, the answer to that is on that punt, the ball hit a Hoover player and Spain Park fell on it. And hence, they now have possession deep in Hoover territory.
There you go. We were too busy talking about TV on the sideline.
We were.
We missed the play. We apologize.
And I will tell you that Coach Niblett did not like that ruling, but it stands.
Wooden with about 4 yards to the 15. I think Spain Park has got an opportunity to do some neat things here in the second half of the season. One more look.
Here's a look at this. The ball's bouncing around. It's going to bounce. And the beanbag came out back behind the play. So you saw the ball hit a Spain Park player, but it had previously, I believe, hit a Hoover player, and the beanbag came out behind the play. And there's a flag on that one. That flag came from about 15 yards downfield. That was a nice toss by the official there.
A face mask, if I'm not mistaken. It is the 5-yard variety. They'll replay the down, but that should be enough for the first down after the penalty. How many times have we seen that this year? I mean, we've already had it happen a couple of times in some of our games here on Thursday night touchdowns.
But on some college games, we've seen it. You know, most of the time that's a communication problem. Your deep back not getting loud enough to let his guys know that the ball's bouncing around. You know, I think we talked about it in one game, Graham. The old term Peter is used a lot, and I don't know why it's Peter. I don't know why they chose that biblical name to use, but that's usually what's been called. I mean, as long as when I was in Little League football, we used that, you know, and that was a long time ago.
Well, I was never on the punt coverage team, so I never heard it, but by the way, it could have been Cottontail. So keep that in mind.
That could be true.
I appreciate your
or
biblical.
Gabriel. Peter Gabriel, you know. Sledgehammer.
Very good. No, I'm not going to sing. 2nd and goal at the 2. Wooden. Handoff. Can he get there? Looks like he's close. He's in. Touchdown, Spain Park.
So they take advantage of a break right there given to them by the mistake on the punt coverage or the punt receiving team. And they're able to cash it in for a score.
So 42-13, point after coming, and just a straight dive play that Wooden with the touchdown run. I believe that might be his 2nd touchdown of the year. I'll check the stats here real quick. As the extra point attempt is good, and that is his 2nd touchdown of the year. So the turnover turns into points for Spain Park. I was about to say before we got into all this other stuff I like what Spain Park is doing in a lot of ways.
Right.
They're up against a juggernaut. They know that.
They know that. You're right.
They've got games left where they can win.
Right.
And put themselves in position. One thing we keep talking about in 7A, only 32 teams in this classification. And quite frankly, 7A has got some weak sisters in it this year.
It does.
And so you look and you say, okay, what do we got to do to get ourselves where we can play in the first round? And quite frankly, I think this team can compete in the playoffs if they get there. But this is a tough region.
It really is. This is a really, really tough region in 7A, and a lot of good teams down the line for both of these teams to face as they go through the brunt of their schedule. So you never know what's going to happen, but I think you're right. I think Sean Rainey has him on the right track, and he did tell me, he said, I'm a defensive guy. I've always been a defensive guy. I've always coached defense, and he said, I'm trying to change the mentality a little bit and get us a little bit more defensive-minded here at Spain Park. And he knows, having been on the other sideline over there wearing the orange and black, he knows what it's about. He knows about the tradition, and he's trying to build that here at Spain Park, and I think he's doing a nice job.
Well, they've got Vestavia Hills next week, and then Oak Mountain. That's two pretty good teams.
It is.
And then Mountain Brook. Now, those games are winnable.
Right.
As we've already seen, all of those teams, I believe, have a loss, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that.
I think you are correct.
But this region has been beating up on each other with the exception of Hoover.
And if you look in the 7A top 10, Region 3 has 3 teams in that top 10.
Is it not more than anybody?
Hoover, Oak Mountain, and Spain Park. And there's a flag on the play.
Yep, this one's coming back. But a nice run nonetheless. I believe that's 28. That'll be Richardson. So Galen Richardson, he'll have his long run return back to the line of scrimmage after the penalty. Time for our defender of the game, and I think we got a pretty good idea. This young man, 2 picks tonight. Here's the first one, and it was a pick 6.
That's actually, I believe, the second one of the game. The first one, I think he got off a tip ball, but that's the big one of the game. That was a big momentum killer for Spain Park as that pick 6 came about.
That was Jeremy Williams, who had a second interception.
And look at this, a broken play, and look at the gain.
That is Sturdivant, who's carried a lot here.
And here's another flag. That's behind the play. Let's see what happened. I don't know if it's a block in the back or.
29-yard gain by Sturdivant.
I do believe
it was an
the
illegal
young man,
block.
Joshua Stevenson, got caught right there, trying to make a block, trying to do something positive, be aggressive, and I think he hit a guy on the wrong side of his body. Got a little penalty there.
We're under 2 minutes.
But still, that was a totally busted play from the beginning, and they still made a huge gain out of it. When it rains, it pours, or things start coming up smelling good.
Fortunately, we haven't had a pouring tonight. We thought we might get some rain.
And there is some coming, I do believe.
We've had a little bit. It started sprinkling just a few minutes ago, but that's also subsided. But a lot of folks hitting the exits early here. Tough night again for Spain Park. This will be 13 straight losses to Hoover. One day, though, they will break this streak. It's not going to be this year, but it'll happen soon. Start of it again.
And I want to say something, Graham. We haven't mentioned this too much tonight, but the viewers can see what a beautiful facility this is. But if they could see the entire campus out here, you have Berry Middle School right there to the, is that the west?
I believe that is the west. Yes.
Beyond the west end
to
zone,
the east, and that's that way. So.
Beyond the west end zone is Berry Middle School, a beautiful school in itself. But behind us over here, the Spain Park High School campus, unbelievable. Just a beautiful place.
And another big run. And a first down for Pickering. Let me make
41 yards.
Richardson, 41 yards. And let's also not forget to mention, this is Bob Finley Field. Now, if you don't know who Bob Finley is, he was the longtime football coach at Berry High School. He led them to a couple of state championships. The irony is that school turned into Hoover.
Right.
And yet this school, their opponent tonight, the name of the field is named after their longtime coach, who was one of the finest men you'll ever meet.
Oh, absolutely. And a brilliant football coach, did wonders with what he had at Berry High School, and a legend in Alabama.
That's going to do it. And as we finish up here, let's take a look at our play of the game. Boy, you had a lot to choose from. But let's take the long pass that really broke the back late in the first half as the touchdown catch made. And I believe that put him up 21 at the time, right before the first half.
I think you are correct. And, you know, just a great play, a broken coverage right there. Quincy Cox was the guy who caught that pass, and we saw the ball get loose from him a little bit, got up on top of his shoulder pad. He was able to corral it, get it back under control. But, you know, that what Coach Sean Rainey talked about, we had a blown coverage in the secondary. That was a big blown coverage, and it ended up a big play for Hoover.
So the Bucks improve to 4-2 overall. Perfect still in 7A Region 3 action.
And
there's a 4-0 record.
Their in-state streak continues.
I believe 34 in a row, is that right?
34 in a row now here in Alabama.
Meanwhile, Spain Park evens the record with a loss, 3-3, 1-3 in region play. But as we mentioned, they are not out of the woods yet when it comes to the playoffs.
A lot of football left to play.
They got some tough games coming up, but we'll see if they can indeed make it to the first ever Class 7A playoffs, which will begin in a few weeks. Well, we've got more action next week. Hope you can join us. Eufaula and Charles Henderson down in South Alabama. We hope you can be there for that. For our crew, for Christina, for our Stott, it's Ken. Mike, great game again tonight.
Thanks,
we got to see a great one out of Hoover. That'll break it. We'll close it out. We'll see you next Thursday on Thursday Night Touchdowns.
You'll never guess what 400,000 people in the U.S. were using when they crashed their cars last year. No, not this. This. Distracted driving will kill you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation. So you got caught speeding, but this time you got more than a ticket.
What are you in for?
Vehicular homicide. Stop speeding before speeding stops you. Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
What sets ERA King apart? Lead management technology and search engine optimization, virtual tours, curbside audio, enhanced listings with Trulia, Homes.com, and Realtor.com on every single listing. Yes, and rule number one, just do the right thing.
Do you have storm damage or just ready to improve the overall curb appeal of your home? If so, call Bear Roofing now. All our products come back by warranty, and we'll work with your insurance company to repair or replace your roof. Call Bear Roofing now.
At Baumhauer's, we're all about great sports, legendary food, and Southern pride. That's why we're serving up all your Southern favorites, like our tangy grilled fish salad, hot Bama brown, and our famous wings. And it wouldn't be the South if it didn't have a little kick, like a homemade gumbo and wild Gulf shrimp and grits. And don't forget our mouthwatering desserts like Bama Nana Pudding or Strawberry Shortcake. So call the gang and put a little South in your mouth.
After you've been injured in a car wreck, you could do this. I'm Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer. Don't gamble with your case. If you've had a big wreck, you need a big check.
After my big car wreck, I didn't gamble with my case. I hired Mike Slocum, the Alabama Hammer, and he got me the big check I deserved, $575,000.
After your car wreck, don't take a gamble with the insurance company and call me right now.
Call right now.